welcome everybody to DA League's Season 5, Week 3. I was about to say Season 3, that's in the past. I will be joined here today by Freezing for the first time in a long while. Freezing, do you want to say hi?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here. It's been a long time I haven't casted. So yeah, like I just said, I'm just super happy to be here. I'm excited for this game, which is going to be a really, really tight game, a really good game, because
I
both
hope so,
teams
yeah.
never lost yet. So
That
we're
is very
week
true.
3, and both teams are 2-0. So I'm really excited to see how those two teams are going to perform against each other. So yeah.
I want to underline the fact that the victories that these two teams have, like you said, they're both 2-0, so no losses to their record so far. However, the one detail I want to add is that none of these losses were, or none of these victories were due to a forfeit. You know, this can happen from time to time. A team doesn't show up. It was kind of embarrassing because we're supposed to have a match on Sunday night, and the team captain showed up, but none of their players did. So this was like the most embarrassing forfeit ever. And so, you know, this is not the case here, luckily. The map ban has been done already. So, you know what? We could maybe comment on these a little bit. Let me just pull up this one. There you go. We're going to have a better view of the map bans. And Freezing, why don't you want to talk about these? As the players are joining into the lobby, it should really not be too long before we get this going.
To be honest, I don't see the map ban right now.
Look
I
at
only
the
see the
Discord screen
game.
share. Look at the Discord screen share.
Oh, didn't realize it was Discord
I'm
screen
sorry, I
share.
should have mentioned that.
Yep, I see. All right, great. Um, I'm not surprised, to be honest, with those two maps, if I can be totally honest. Bank and Coastline are probably those two maps that are mostly banned at first, because Coastline is really attack inside a map, and people are not always confident on that map. It's a super aggressive map. You gotta play aggressive, play those refrags. So most teams gonna ban that map. I'm not surprised. And Bank being as well a ban map that like pretty much almost banned because um, it just came in the bracket, right? It replaced Coastline. I mean Consulate, my bad. And teams haven't really practiced on that map. It's a big map,
It is, yeah.
so most teams are not really comfortable on that map, and that's why I believe those two maps are banned.
Yeah,
And from the
I would love to see Bank though, to be honest, because Bank I have yet to cast it since its rework, and so I know it's like early players are going to play every map like 10 times a day because that's just, you know, the amount of time they spend in the game, whereas the community guys are maybe going to spend a bit less, a few hours per day, and so they're going to focus on the maps they're playing on the most, which would of course would be Clubhouse, Argon, and then I don't know, would Cafe, Chalet, or Coastline be the third most played map on competitive Siege? You could argue. You know what? Hey, I just thought of that. I just thought of that, and this is so cool. So the screen share through Parsec is still running, and I'm going to pull up. It is new from this season, but we have a Liquipedia page, and so I am not sure how you pronounce the guy's name, but Pachidze, I'm not sure if it's a capital I or a lowercase L, is the one that's inputting this, and it's amazing. Yeah, Digital Athletes League. I suppose I should type it out long form. The fun thing is, it's more than just entering results. It also shows how many maps have been played and that kind of such. So if we just were to scroll down here, we could see that maps picked would be Aragon Clubhouse and Villa. So to answer my own question, Villa would be the third most played map here.
right.
In the
Kind of
meantime,
surprised.
go ahead.
I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, because I saw as well the map ban. Obviously, Banks there because, like I said earlier, a lot of teams didn't practice that map yet. And it's a big map, and coordination on that map is essential. But I didn't see Coastline. So at some point, Coastline is kind of played, I guess. I'm kind of surprised from that because
Yeah,
I'm talking from experience.
yeah,
Most
absolutely.
times, Coastline is bad, so I'm kind of surprised about it. But obviously, Bank is there.
Mhm.
I didn't have a doubt about that.
Of course, this one is just not not even registering as a dot on the radar. So
Yeah.
we are gonna have every player in the lobby. I'm just confirming like the settings, you know. So Eclectiq or attacking first at start, and InControl Nation would be attacking first on overtime. Should that be the case? Looking at the settings, this is good. Asking the players, are they ready? Question mark. And yeah, more or less, we're going to be good to go as soon as the players give us the go ahead. Because I have yet to see any R's in chat, so stay tuned, I suppose. EQ are ready, or well, Eclectiq are ready. InControl Nation are still not giving too many signs of life. I want to note 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The InControl Nation team has 7 players on their voice channel, so that means they have 2 coaches or otherwise support staff in there, and so we are gonna have to. Oh yeah, Goon saying not ready. Wait, I was gonna say just mute your coaches. They just did mute themselves, but then Goon says, we're not ready. So why don't we analyze maybe the needs to help my mother? Oh well, somebody's mom has a really affectionate son or kid, I suppose. You know what? You know what? What we could do in the meantime is ask chat actually what they think of this. I don't want to like or hide the stream entirely, the game entirely. Should the players say they're ready? But what I want to do is go on Discord, not on Discord, sorry, on Twitch, and start a poll. Guys, who do you think is going to win this match? On the one side, we are going to have InControl Nation. On the other side, we have Eclectiq. So let's see what you guys think. Of course, there is going to be OSHA allowed today, as this is the new season, and the DL season was pretty well synced with the in-game season, so that worked out really well for us this time around. And yeah, I never know what to say. Why don't we talk about Cafe as a map? So there's a few maps that are really strong to anchor on, and roaming isn't the greatest. And there's some maps where you can roam a heck of a lot. Think, for example, I want to say Villa. 3 floors, 3 staircases per floor. The kind of stuff that you couldn't say of Coastline, right? Only 2 floors, only 2 staircases. That would make roaming like super easy to cut off for the attackers if they wanted to like establish those cutoff angles. Roaming still is really strong on Coastline, don't get me wrong, but I just want to underline kind of the dynamics between the play styles and the map layout. So what do you expect coming from Cafe from these players specifically?
I mean, if we just look at Cafe in a perspective of like not necessarily a team playing in it, but Cafe is mostly a map and like that has a lot of vertical play. And what I'm talking about is because when you downstairs in kitchen, most people are going to push above, make those line of sights. Either they're pushing, even though they're pushing bakery or they're pushing freezer, most of the time they're going to need to do those line of sights from above and take that vertical play. When they're top floor, for example, they're as well going to push as well below because that cocktail hold is really, really good. So most people are going to push the library, try to make these guys rotate, and like that's why vertical play is super important. And we see it as well when they're playing library in fireplace,
Mm-hmm.
because every team that I've seen has pretty much pushed top floor. Sometimes you do see some rushes through train, but most of the time you're going to see a team taking a buff control and get that cocktail control, and after open the floor and execute for you know a plan execution.
I was guessing this was going to be way too loud. So I did mention this to you, but I didn't exactly mention it to the chat. We've had some changes and updates in the way the production is run without delving too deep into the weeds. And so yeah, I knew there were going to be like one thing or two to set up, namely the volume for that other like map operator selection map band. Like the game volume was a bit too loud for just half a second. So Thatcher, as a first ban in freezing, you have a fan in the chat.
Do I
Yeah.
didn't. Oh, I got Akers. Hey man, how you doing? Long time no see.
So do you want to mention just how surprising it is that Thatcher and Flores are being banned, or should we just look over that?
I mean, Tatcher's not that much of a surprise. It's pretty much been like probably 95% of the time. Mostly
So
in
true.
cafe because there's a lot of. If I think about freezer in, my bad, forgot the name, but uh, bakery. My bad,
There
I
you have it.
totally
Yeah.
forgot the place. But if we think just about downstairs, most of the time, if you got Tatcher's gonna bring, it's gonna be a lot easier to push that side if you don't. So Tetris not surprising. Flores, I believe it's probably for shields, pixel shield, and as well as shields in freezer and bathroom. But like Flores would be really really good. So I believe this is why. these both teams ban those. And obviously Valkyrie is always dangerous in a map in which I said earlier, in which there's a lot of vertical play. Obviously, Valkyrie is going to be really dangerous for those Valkyries and C4 from below, and Mira is always a good ban as well. I believe so in most maps. So I'm not really surprised about the bans.
Yeah, you really cannot truly go wrong with a Mira ban. I want to say Mira is a bit of a map-dependent operator, right? She's only as good as the line of sight that you would create by punching a hole in the wall would be, if that sentence's structure makes any sense, right? So by punching a hole in the wall, which is basically what Mira does, if you get no great line of sight, well, then the shield is going to be useless. But there's always, in every map, going to be some wall where seeing through it would be useful, so varying degrees of usefulness, but they're still going to be present very much. And as I say this, it would be my personal belief that the game right now is not actually installed on an SSD. That is kind of embarrassing because you saw how long it took for the operator icons to load on the side of the screen here. Yeah, luckily the loading times weren't too big, but no. Useless ending goes put aside. Their first defense is going to be played on the first floor, so Bakery and Freezer. You were mentioning this with regards to Thatcher. No Thatcher here, so I suppose it's going to be a bit more of a brute force kind of approach. I mean, look at the hard with Shibana. They have like a Twitch to shut down those K-Doctor claws, but they're going to be harder to find rather than if you were to be playing Thatcher, right?
Attackers are moving out to locate and defuse it.
Freezing, you still with me?
Yeah, I can barely hear you because the game is too loud. Let me try to do something.
Oh shoot, yeah. What you could do simply is in your sort of, alt tab and lower the game volume. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Kitchen.
Device planted.
So if I was to look here, talking about the defense, we have a couple of guys at the top floor, 3 actually, Mr. Reaper, Zack, and Dunny. This is both a good and a bad thing because should the offense or Eclectiq realize that, if they were to think, hey, let's just rush in, they only have 2 guys on site, it should be pretty easy for the offense, assuming they know how to pull off a rush rather, to get a hold on the bomb site, plant the diffuser, and force the 3 roaming defenders in a retake situation. Hibana trying to breach the reinforced wall. Of course, there's going to be the problem. Duke with the first blood right here. This is going to be good for Eclectiq. It looks like the roamers are trying to get back. Thrown with mitigated success, Mr. Reaper. MX Reaper, sorry, it's not MR, it's MX Reaper. Just whiffing their shots. It's embarrassing to some extent. Unfortunately, the first round is going to be over before the push was even truly put into motion.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't thought it was gonna be like that. Vigil missed a lot of great opportunity to kill people, but they didn't even breach the wall. The wall was still kited. From what I've seen, nothing was breached, but preparation wall. So I mean, at that point, why is the defense playing so aggressive? Right? They don't need to. They can just fall back and play the time. They didn't do. They just played aggressive and got out fragged, believe so, or outs killed.
Yeah, it was just a matter of gunfights which were lost back to back to back. So unfortunate.
Absolutely.
And this is not boding too well because if you were once again to take, just like I mentioned, the example of the Vigil. Vigil had pretty much everything going for them in the sense that the roamer, who was that? I can't quite remember. Was it Dad? I want to say I'm totally amnesiac because I'm running so many things at once. But they were in the back of 2 attacking guys. Just starts basically spraying bullets down range, missing everything. Of course, the gunfire is going to attract the Eclectiq's attention. They turn around, and that was Duke with the LMGE 150 bullets magazine, which is murdered 2 or 3 even players. I believe it was technically a double kill on the kill feed just to show how quickly Duke was able to train it up. A few opportunities just flat out missed by InControl Nation. They really have to get a better accuracy and gun skill for the upcoming rounds. If not, they're gonna have basically no chance whatsoever. Okay, yeah, so is the game audio not too loud on your end anymore?
Shield deployed!
It's still out for me, to be honest. I can barely hear you. I don't know if you can put
I can maybe turn
your
it
mic
down.
Louder in Discord only. You're at 200% for me, and I can barely hear you.
I can try this after this round, of course, because I'm
absolutely.
But yeah, just so what I would suggest you do is you hit Control Shift W. That's the shortcut to make your screen share windowed. and then you can go in your you know, Windows like audio settings and just turn down the volume like crazy of this one application specifically.
A bomb has been located.
That would be my suggestion to you.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, I did also have. I did put my volume lower on my PC directly, but
Device planted. Setting traces
It
somewhere.
looks, yeah, I do see that it's like pretty loud. As I'm gonna have to turn this down in OBS as well. That's what I was talking about, right? So new-ish way of running production. It looks like Gunny is gonna run out. That could be a double kill. Gunny, of course, knows, gets one, would not get the second, but luckily for Semi just barely went on the roof, and that will save their life. Looking for a bit of a vengeance, I suppose. Looking at the window exactly where they're going to be pushing from. And that drone is going to be feeding so much valuable intel. At this point, MX Reaper is likely to go down. But, oh, the Nitro Cell here could get a nasty kill, and it will. Attack went down. Was predictable. And now Goons, last one alive in a 1v4 situation. I don't see what Twitch can do. Gets a nasty kill here, that is nice, but there's still pulse. There's still going to be a few yokai drones to basically feed continuous, perfect, and never-ending stream of intel. And on top of that, if ever Goons wants to push in, there's still going to be the small canisters to cut them short. Pulse, still technically being a roamer, could just sneak up behind Goons at any time. As I said, it doesn't get much worse than that. Camera is on them. The Banshee's there too. Goons is playing well, right? Good mobility, isolating the defenders, killing them off one by one. It's now a 1v2 situation. Not too intimidating, all things considered. Still, 30 seconds to go with a smoke, with an echo, with intel. I don't see this working out. I'm just sorry. And there you have it.
I'm gonna be honest, the way they played right there, I mean, if we just talk about their defense, they're playing really from intel. So I'm talking about a Pulse, an Echo, BP. But when I say BP, I'm talking about obviously bulletproof cams. And obviously they got as well Melusi giving them intels. So I just see these guys playing from so much intel, but still giving them so many 1v1s, right? They're in a 4v1, and they gave 2 1v1s. I mean, Twitch played super well there. Not saying she didn't play well, she didn't isolate 1v1s, but I mean, they're still giving 1v1s with all that intel that they have. I mean, they got a Pulse below, even though he got 2 kills this round, he's still giving info from below, and they're still giving him still giving kills and peeking for no reason, right? They should just play from that intel, and when he pushes, get that crossfire and that refrag right away, because it could have went really sideways that round, I believe so.
Right, just I was about to forget that. Yeah, let me just my microphone is already at 100% in Discord. Sorry about that. And I don't realize why things just keep on turning off, because without that I won't be able to show you guys the replays. So third round. The good news, instant replay is now off. Why is instant replay always just turning off again? It goes on and it just disappears. I have no idea why that thing just keeps messing up, so I suppose I'm gonna have to fix that afterwards. Sorry for the lack of replays for the upcoming rounds. So what we have here is gonna be Eclectiq, you know, not winning the second round, and that is pretty good because remember just how badly they lost the first one. So, no, just how badly InControl lost the first round. I'm so sorry. So showing us that they're capable of winning a round here or there, at the very least here or there, is going to be encouraging because, you know, they were not looking too strong for the first round. Let's not forget, some teams just need a few rounds to warm up, and that seems like it was the case here. So now that we're going to have a proper challenge going on, it will be so much nicer of a match to watch, you know?
Absolutely. We see these guys pushing the same way that they pushed last round. Opening hatches, they're going to play obviously going for a red push. What I would like to see these guys play, we saw the Echo, we saw the heavy Roman below with the Pulse and all that intel. These guys don't have this round. They're playing like more of a aggressive style play, I'll say, because Ella's playing in my bad, in
Cigar. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, with the shotgun. So they're playing way more aggressive, and I mean, at that point, these guys gotta push below. They cannot just drop red. They'll get probably just blown up.
You were saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. These guys are playing really good crossfires, and they just drop in. There's no way these guys can do something about it. They gotta change their push. They gotta change their way to attack that site. they can just. There's no way these guys can just drop. These guys are only dropping red stairs, and these guys are. Yeah, here you go. See Jaeger.
Oh no, oh no. Dude,
Gonna
don't.
miss. They're gonna get the kill with the C4. Jaeger's gonna get. No, never mind. I thought Jaeger's down, but he's not down. He's super low.
There you go.
Yonder
Now
there
he's
is gonna
dead.
get wasted here. Yeah, but you see Jaeger gets ice right there, so that's good. But like I said, they are only pushing red, so they only got one line of sight to push, and these guys got so many crossfires. I don't believe these guys are gonna make it.
Well, they're falling back. The defense side, that is, right now. Thus giving control to the top floor to Eclectiq. I suppose the Realm thought we wasted enough time. Let's get back on side to make sure they don't like sneak a plant under our noses in the later stages of the round, which does make sense. The top floor is going to be pretty important, but it doesn't seem like Duke is going to be playing top floor, so yeah, I suppose the defender has abandoned something that the attack doesn't even want to take. That to me indicates that they're going to try to push into Fireplace, as a plant there would seem way more likely than actually trying to take control of Reading Room. Castle right here could be one of the greatest hindrance to deny the plant. And so I suppose the attack's gonna have to try and flank him out. And there you go, Duke with another kill. Gets refrag, like I said, serve. The biggest problem there's gonna be. Nice kill finishing the guy off. Looks like Koala isn't quite gonna get the wall bang there, but nice attempts. 18 seconds to go in a 2v3 situation. That does not look too great. That's trigger discipline. Oh yeah, 11 seconds. They have to get the diffuser planted now, and of course Ella with the shotgun at that range is not gonna let that happen.
5 seconds left.
Koala. No way.
Oh, he's gonna manage to get the kill. If it was gonna win the round because they didn't manage to play. I'm gonna be
plant
sorry
now.
because I think this side was above for some reason, even though they just won last round. I was like, why are these guys pushing that hard above? But I'm surprised that these guys did a hold that we usually see when people are playing bar, and they were playing that much aggressive into Cigar when the side is below. To be honest, I think the push was not properly done because someone should have at least repelled on Piano Window, try to get the castle, because once you get the castle and Cigar, you get that crossfire on Ella, and if you got someone Skylight, she cannot rotate at all, and she usually dies. Or if she drops hatch, you got someone watching outside from the window and counter rotation, because Ella was the big problem here with the guy playing in Piano. I just feel the push was not coordinated properly, or the call was not made properly from the IGL from that part, because I just feel these guys were uncoordinated and the push was not done properly. That was not the push to do for these guys. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm seeing these guys play into Engine Room and Fireplace. We rarely see that. Usually we would have seen these guys go back path kitchen. We'll see these guys going back. No,
So I have some bad news for myself. It looks like the R6A enhanced scoreboard does not work. You know, seeing, for example, just cost, headshot percentage, that kind of stuff would have been interesting. But furthermore, I was hoping it will work now because we are tracking stats. But that's my problem. The other thing, oh, that is actually pretty neat. Of course, it is going to act like a Jaeger ADS device plus 2 ADS devices. This Vulcan shield is going to be really hard to shut down. My biggest question is, why are they playing mining? So you did mention that, right? Mining is almost unheard of in competitive Siege for a reason. And I am curious to see if InControl have any idea as to what they could do. Looks like there's going to be an impact nade. Come on, Duke, you have the impact nade. Is that really all it takes for you to no longer want to breach that window? Nah, I suppose it is. Dunny cannot have too many ADS devices, of course, because there's 2 of them down there. So that shield should be pretty easy to take out. And MX Reaper here in the cocktail lounge is going to be basically a crucial cross angle for Dunny. But once again, if the attack really wants to take them out, they're going to make it. They're going to manage to do so with like minimal effort, basically.
We see these guys pushing above. Like I said earlier, you always got to take vertical on this map. Vertical is key on this map. Surprisingly, I don't see these guys playing enough C4s. I only see 2 C4s on their team, and C4 is kind of key right here. These guys have managed to take control of Cigar and Piano. They're getting map control pretty quickly, if I can be honest.
Yeah, this is good. So the defense lost nobody. This might be like the only mitigating factor, because at the end of the day, you're totally right. Eclectiq have a pretty decent amount of map control. Lost nobody in doing so, and made it in like almost record time, right? Like a minute, like half of the round remaining, and they have total top floor control. What else is missing, basically, would be my question. And the answer seems to be not too much. Like Hibana breaching the hatch. This is basically the connector room between the two bomb sites. Was that Badger? If Badger is not cautious, that could have been a kill. It looks like Haiku's looking at him. But
Oh,
just
nasty shot.
that was
Absolutely.
not Haiku, that was Semi. But yeah, Semi was like looking the wrong side at the wrong moment. Unfortunate for them.
Absolutely, but these guys gonna need to wake up. Eclectiq's gonna need to wake up and get that wall breach, and as well they need absolute control of pillar, because otherwise they won't be able to push site. They're gonna get cross-iron and die. So these guys need pillar control. They're gonna find a kill on the Goyo. Great kill here. They're gonna work towards pillar, I believe so. Yeah, Zoffia's gonna rotate. Rune is gonna get a kill for herself. And 3v4, 25 seconds left. 2v4. 2v3 because Aruni gets down afterwards from Hibana refragging her teammate.
Going to be okay.
That could be a double kill. Oh, is that gonna be?
Oh,
Not quite. Oh, the green. No, why do you run after that like so? And they're just gonna fall like flies. Did I just notice that I mistyped InControl Nation's team name in like the settings here in the match lobby? I mean, wait up.
Not sure.
I just have to make sure. InControl Nation, they have no L left. They're InControl Nation. Okay, jokes aside, so we are now going to have the beautiful replays of working for us again. Oh, but these might be the replays, including the replays of the first round. I just hope. We may have too many replays here, but like, screw it. Not even. Okay, we just saw a lot of kills this round. Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, so InControl Nation, once again, looking really good. The advantage they had wasn't like that massive compared to a few other rounds. Eclectiq know what they're doing. They just have a hard time actually pulling the victory off. So what I can say is that given time, they're going to learn how InControl plays, and they're going to learn like different ways to counteract that. But furthermore, there's also the fact that they are attacking, right? So attack is, by its very definition, a bit harder. The game volume down, lower even a bit more. They're going to figure out how InControl works, they'll figure out the way to counteract that, and on top of that, they're attacking. So the map is somewhat offense-sided, right? Defense-sided. And so as soon as the roll swap hits, with any luck, Eclectiq are going to be able to start winning back the rounds that they're losing right now. But, you know, it's a bit reductive because the human factor comes into play way more than just, oh, they're winning because they're defending. Oh, they're going to start winning as soon as the roll swap hits. But if we look at this defense right here, it is basically a carbon copy of what we saw on round 2. The only round that Eclectiq was able to win, remember? No, Eclectiq won the very first round. I am, yeah.
Because the only one they won was first round in Kitchen.
I am totally drunk.
Kitchen.
Yes, okay,
That's
so...
the first round that InControl won.
So yeah, so let me just rephrase that with the proper conclusion. InControl are doing the exact same thing they did on round number 2, and therefore, so far, I don't see anything indicating to me that they shouldn't win this round, just like they did on round number 2. So let's see how it plays out.
I'm gonna be honest here. I see Eclectiq pushing the exact same way they pushed around the second round and lost that round. They're doing it no adaptation right here. They don't have any drones below. They're gonna get those bandits, I believe so. Or whatever.
There's not even a bandit army.
There's no wall.
Oh.
Here's gonna go a C4 that with that pulse. This is what I mean. They don't have any intel from below, and the pulse gonna give so much intel. They gotta get that pulse, or otherwise they're gonna probably not be able to make it through the round.
Yeah, I mean, Goons is alive only because Dunny is already out of a natural cell, to be fair.
Absolutely. We just see these guys take control of Freezer really, really quick. Smoke gonna get killed right here from the Maverick. The little Maverick hole that he just made. Poor placement shield, poor timing, I'm gonna say on that. These guys are gonna be coordinating themselves to go for execute on long bar, I believe so, for a plant. They do have someone watching plant, but they still have the echo and the pulse, plus the Benjis and the BPs, giving these guys some intel.
Yeah,
it's mistaken that they don't have BPs.
They no, they don't, but they do have yokai drones. That is one less drone though. But yeah, so interestingly enough, there you have it. It's of course being blown open, so the default plant spot is not really going to be viable here. I'm curious to see how that is going to turn out. So we have that one silhouette over there. The camera has to be shut down. Goon's going to get a nasty kill, so 2v3, 3v4, sorry. The timer is still pretty healthy, all things considered. MX Reaper has to get that kill. That's basically shuts down an entire arm to the push, but Tack goes down at the same time. And Dunny now once again in a retake situation. Diffuser being planted, being pulsed, and he's supposed to know everything. But then again, the weakest gun in the game is going to show its failings. And you're going to have another round one, and this time, however, for Eclectiq. So, InControl Nation, not as untouchable as they may appear to be. And once again, this is going to be good for Eclectiq's morale, because if they lose too many rounds back-to-back, well, you know how that is going to turn out, don't you?
Yeah, at that point they lose momentum, and momentum is such a big thing in this game. I'm gonna be honest here. I didn't expect Eclectiq winning this round playing the exact same way, but they played really aggressive. Once they saw the default plan were not available to go plant on because there were holes in them, they just decided to push and refrag, and that worked for some reason. These guys should have. I mean, when I'm saying these guys, InControl Nation should have played those crossfires and being able to land those shots with all the intel these guys had, but they didn't manage to get those kills. Eclectiq got the best of these guys, got refrags, really good refrags right there, and managed to win that round. So great job from Eclectiq.
Yeah, nicely done. All things considered, I think this is the only thing that we can say. So yes, looking at this sixth round, we're gonna go back into kitchen. This was our very first, area of defense. So I'm kind of surprised that we didn't go there again earlier. Well, you might argue that InControl kind of got traumatized by the way they lost last time around. But hey, kitchen it is. And let's look at the defensive setup here, because it differs quite a sizable chunk from what we saw at the very beginning of the match. For example, Badger is going to be playing with Maestro instead of using the Vigil. So this speaks of a more kind of anchor-sided defense rather than the sneaky roamer that tries to shoot you from the back. Let's see just how well that turns out for them, though.
Well, we see these guys pushing and planning for maybe a freezer push, because we're going to see these guys probably play Crossfire, and Womack's going to be playing VIP, but Attack's just going to push Bakery, and that's probably the play to do, because we see these guys don't have a lot of control on Bakery. But as soon as I'm saying that Maverick might be open the main door, try to challenge, but they need Maverick to open that wall. So if Maverick dies from playing too aggressive, these guys probably won't be able to open that wall because they don't have any twitch. So Maverick, their only chance to open that wall.
Let's go, Goons! Yes. So this is a good start for the offense, though. So Serve now already more or less in the situation where he might want to start using the Toxic Babes. It is crazy early to do so. On top of that, the grenade of Goons might destroy the Electro Claw as well, but there's an ADS right there. Plus the Magnet probably is going to have an impact on that. Yep, it does. Oh, but it still is going to blow. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be destroying the wall after all with the Hibana. That is if she doesn't push in herself first. Oh no, the Electric Light is still standing actually. I was wrong. Koala, this is the real guy, not an alibi or not a hologram. I'm always struggling to get that word for some weird ungodly reason. The attack is going well, right? A minute 30 left on the clock. They've killed 2 defenders off. Smoke and Maestro are still on the board, but numerical advantage has got to account for something. Tack is going to have a nice little cross angle into bomb side, or it could be a roamer, or it could be however the hell he wants. It's going to be Badger with a nice kill there. Don't run into that angle. Tack taking a lot of damage, going down.
Himself, but absolutely, Nomad, I believe, so he's going to get a refract for a teammate. Nomad's going to get killed. No, she's going to get the kill on Maverick. On Maestro, I mean, Smo's going to be playing aggressive in a 3v1. 1 minute left. He gets the Diffuser down. He's going to get killed from Iana. No, Zofia, who's hiding in Small Bakery. I mean, great push from the attack. Like I said earlier, I just feel that InControl are playing way too aggressive for that site. They don't need to play that aggressive. They didn't even manage to breach wall. So what's the point of playing that aggressive and giving those first picks? You must play aggressive when you're in disadvantage or when you can't hold any more ankles. These guys just got a whole crossers. And obviously that Jaeger dying from Sophie, I believe so, made it really, really tough because red wall was open, my bad. I just feel InControl Nation is too aggressive for that site.
Slightly unfortunate, but there it is. We're going to see a 3-3 roll, a 3-3 split for the roll swap. Pretty good stuff. You know, InControl Nation were in the driver's seat for most of the first half, so seeing Eclectiq basically bring it back at the very end of the round is a nice to see, right? So I am going to sound like a broken record, as the stream was lagging a tiny little bit there. That was odd. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but the one thing I do love to see is comparing and contrasting two teams' defenses, because, hey, I'm going to say, for example, one team brings mutes and the other team doesn't. Well, the team that ends up winning the match, if they were to be the one that brings mute, well, then the one that didn't should maybe start playing or start adopting this playstyle, because of course this is likely the discrepancy that arguably brought the other team to their victory. I feel like I explained this in a very roundabout way. I am sorry if I didn't make too much sense. That made sense in my mind. And so yeah, I hope you're able to follow along with me. A nice defense here on the piano. So, you know, Jaeger ADS devices, magnets, anything you may need to anchor there for as long as possible. InControl Nation spawning, but I was gonna say they don't seem to be like rushing to get the roof just like any other team would. But as I say, the ripple lines come out. I know you never know when you're gonna see like a rush from the first floor. That, however, is not going to happen this time around.
Absolutely, we're gonna see a roaming from below from the defenders. I mean, I'm kind of liking it. You got mute placed so they can't drone you. They're gonna be playing probably library and fireplace. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of loving it from the defenders, but they're gonna need to adapt to the push of the attackers, and I do not believe they're gonna be pushing below. So they're either gonna need to push into engine room like mute is doing right now. As I say that, A is gonna be playing super aggressive. Already new bulk, new hatch.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of potential here. With the absence of a pulse, of course, yeah, there's technically goons with the nitro cell from beneath. But if you don't really have gun intel, tossing it at random is unlikely to actually yield any kind of results. I suppose Tak is going to try to eat up those magnets, but Dunny is going to have something to say about that first. Cannot quite get the angle on the jammer, but there you have it, looking for the... Oh, that could be a nasty quarry. Oh, with the trick shot! Nicely done. Goons is going to be figured out. Of course, that drone gets destroyed immediately, but that wasn't the point. The idea was, now we know there's somebody below, and just like you mentioned, if Goons really isn't a true threat, they can just ignore Goons, or they can act on that intel and basically take him out. It looks like MX Reaper was trying to do something like that, but Duke is going to have his mates cover, and there you have it. That push is now going to be shut down. But what truly matters is the bomb site itself, so let's see how that is going. Right here, it looks like Koala is still holding strong, decides to go, yeah, to fall back. The shield, of course, blows. Goons from beneath with the nitro cell. Was I saying that mute with no intel would be useless? I am eating my words here.
Absolutely. No, we see these guys, like, 5v3, 45 seconds left. Attacking are in a lot of trouble right now. They gotta push, they gotta breach that freezer wall, they gotta execute, and these guys are just wasting so much time, not able to get that intel on those anchors. They haven't even got full control of piano yet. And there's 25 seconds left. They're gonna need to go for a push. Smoke still has one more smoke. These guys won't be able to push, I don't believe so, unless they got really lucky and get maybe a couple wall banks. I don't believe these guys are gonna be able to push. They gotta push through the smoke. That's a double kill. One from mute, one from Wamaya, one from smoke, and last one's gonna come for Wamaya, I believe. So yeah, Wamaya's gonna get the last kill on the ace.
Yep. It looks like this push was a bit disjointed. It's really the same thing round after round. The true biggest threat or biggest problem that any team is going to be facing is the timer. Because you could argue if they had more time to figure something out, they could have made it work, but they were pressed for time. And so the idea is your opening moves into the round have to be a bit more efficient and quick and fast. So I don't know what I can say about except that, because it's seemingly simple, like, oh, you did just faster, but actually implementing those changes is going to require a tremendous amount of work.
Actually, I just feel we saw InControl playing from below when they were playing above, so they should know about it, right? That C4s from below can really slow down your pushes, but I didn't see these guys put any drones at all from like for below for C4s or whatever it is. I just saw these guys pushing from above and stalling. These guys couldn't push anything at all. They just stalled there and got C4'd. And at some point, so 3v5, there's 30 seconds left, and these guys don't have any map control. So I mean, if you're not going to push below, at least put a drone or intel below to know where when he's going to C4, where he's going to be C4ing from, to try to deny that C4. And I mean, pushing only from red and cigar is not the plan for this. So you need people in those windows, on those piano windows. Get those crossfires. Get that one my sooner. Burn the one my magnets a lot sooner, and get that control of piano way quicker. Because when there's 30 seconds left and it's a 3v5, there's nothing the attack can do about it. From my point of view, I believe so. We're gonna see these guys playing obviously in cocktail, the extended cocktail, my bad, and playing library and fireplace.
You are correct. Yeah, really good. I had it written down as reading in my notes. I was like just momentarily confused here because it wasn't the exact word I saw on my paper. But that's totally just a me problem. It looks like we're gonna have a top-down push like before the roll swap, that is. So InControl's it's gonna be InControl's first push at the top floor for reading room. I would be curious to see how they're going to do it, because first and foremost, they're going to be bringing a Jackal, so that will have the potential to let them know exactly where their opponents are. Remember how linear Eclectiq's pushes were, and thus easy to shut down. There was somebody in the stairs. That was Semi, who never truly peeked in. Oh, that could have been an interesting roam, and it looks like they actually figured him out. Makes it out of there alive, but just with the skin of his teeth. And everybody's dying already. Wow. What is happening? So, Haiku on site. Nobody's directly above them. That's not too big of an issue. Duke also is like in a quiet area of the map. And Semi is more or less surrounded, but yet again, not in a direct or immediate kind of danger. I am not sure how that is going to play out, because the attack now has a bit of a break. They are droning out, figuring out what they want to do, and how they're going to act on the intel, on the advantage that they have. It looks like we are going to be harassing, I wanted to say Haiku, but it's no longer exactly under that line of fire. Semi walking up the stairs could actually be quite interesting, because I suppose it would not be too surprising to see somebody just poke out from the mezzanine, be it Badger or should Tack move out. There's going to be a nice kill from Badger. Now a 2v5 situation. This is looking really doable for a flawless round. I say as there's going to be yet another pick on Semi this time. Haiku now has to clutch and ace this. Not even on any bomb site. Could not prevent a plant from the diffuser right now. Sees the attackers funneling their way into the bomb site, and it looks like Jackal knew exactly where Haiku was. That was... oh, wow. Okay, no, it was actually played by ear, I suppose.
I mean, that's a flawless round. Attack just got control so easily at top floor. They got those two first picks, and after played vertically, made those line of sights from above, and just went for a plan. The following kills just followed up. I mean, a great push from the attack. That's what I gotta say about that. Really good push from the attack.
And you're so right. The attack really kind of, well, the attackers in Control Nation, let's give credit where credit is due by mentioning them. No offense, right? So in Control Nation, they seemingly isolated every single one of their kills, right? Never, and not a single time was Eclectiq in a position to even try and refrag off the player they just lost. Like refrags and positioning in order to make the refrags doable, possible, feasible, you name it. This is one of the simplest forms of team playing Rainbow Six Siege, and yet it looks like Eclectiq are neglecting that, which is slightly unfortunate, and this could, spell disaster for them. The score is 4-4. Nothing is lost, but goddamn are they going to have to not make those mistakes again if they want to have a real shot at winning the round, or the entire match, I should say.
Absolutely. We see these guys playing the exact same site, the exact same way. We just hope so these guys are going to be more ready to get those. I mean, they just got out practically, so from the beginning.
Yeah.
Attack landed some crazy shots and just they lost sight above. And that map is all about above control. And I mean, obviously you won't be able to hold the ball for 3 minutes, but you got at least to be able to hold it for at least 2 minutes, right? You gotta waste some time from the rush, because when they get above control, they lock those stairs and they get vertical play, and at that point they just go for a plan. There's not much you can do. So yeah.
Oh, you're totally right. The verticality of this map is a do or die for the defense, truly. And both teams know that. In Control Nation, that's why they were so efficient in basically flushing out everybody that was roaming up top. Eclectiq had a weak defense. There's no way around that, you know? The defenses were easy to destroy, to grind down. The players behind those defenses were easy to isolate and eliminate. And it was basically rinse and repeat. You find an isolated player, kill them, and
Drone activated.
up to the next one. Already, drones or jackal pings, rather, are going to be coming out. That was goons behind this shield right here. I am curious. So it looks like we're not going to be having a shield or any kind of real defenses into Piano. Not too surprising because the bomb site itself isn't at the top floor. But then again, if you were to harass the attackers as soon as it's set foot in the building itself, their progression would, in theory, be somewhat slower. So, hey, it's just my 2 cents, but I would rather try to slow them down as they sit foot on Piano and not just like bail out of the wide stairs entirely. It looks like, once again, the attack knows exactly what they're doing. Somebody here. Is that going to be a run-out? That is going to be a run-out. Nasty kill is going to happen. Is there going to be a refrag situation for the attack? Nobody can punish that. Goons makes it out unscathed.
Absolutely. We're going to see a refrag right here. And I mean, we didn't directly see a refrag because Ibana got the kill and Sophie got killed. But Jaeger's going to be here, going to come cover, my bad, Goyo, because they were trying to cut off the rotation of Goyo from outside, trying to go back in the building. So back, like, rushed, I believe, so bottom brown, and got out, got refragged or fragged by Jaeger. So really good read from the defenders right here.
Oh, that could be interesting. If they get the angle, they can destroy the camera from above, and there you have it. That is, you know, nifty teamwork, because even though it's like the simplest form of logic, not everybody's going to think about that. 2v4 situation, Eclectiq still firmly in the driver's seat. 1v4 situation, I'm just being proven wrong time and time again by the players. Serve does have verticality. That is good, and that can, you know, serve fun the players really well here. Just look at that. If he gets the angle, this can be, let's look at them. This could be the end of mute. I don't think we could quite get the angle on Jaeger. But, you know, the potential just for mischief is there in a very broad sense. To the right, just don't peek sloppily, and he did.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, in a 4v1, there's not much you can do, to be honest, unless
True.
you're really good and you're able to isolate all those 1v1s. But there was a lot of crossfires right there, and it was super hard for him to know where exactly they were at. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, defense played really well on those refrags and those C4s.
Yeah, they really did.
I mean, they lost the second round, so I mean, they lost 8th round on the exact same site, exact same strat. They just played that differently, and yeah. They've proven us wrong that it's not the shots of problem, it's probably just the way they played it, or maybe they were not as ready as they were this round. And we just saw as well Jaeger getting that crosser or covering his Goyo for the rotation of Buck. I mean, that was a really good read from Jaeger. Covering his teammate like that and reading them, probably attackers gonna go below and try to get that read. Good job, I mean, on defense. We're gonna see these guys going back top floor.
Yep, they're back on the top floor. Said top floor is somewhere where the defense had one previously, so they just didn't go there again because they had one and they weren't allowed to do so again, right? Simple stuff. I hope everybody knows that. But the idea is, if historical data was to be anything to go by, you would expect Eclectiq to take the win. And seeing as we're at a 5-point mark for EQ, if they were to win this round, a 6-4 would be a steep hill to climb for InControl Nation. Let's see how that is going to go. This is a best of 3 after all, so even if they were to lose the first map, nothing, you know, truly drastic would be lost. But I just still want to point that out. As the attack is spawning, we're going to be seeing Gunny play with the Finka, and are we this time going to see the attackers walk up the stairs? Just for variety's sake, I'd like to see this, you know, once in a blue moon. And this might just be the time my wish is going to be fulfilled. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I'm gonna see these guys pushing bottom to top. Like I said earlier, they were the one roaming in the first half. Roaming from below, they're gonna try to go get those roamers from below. They're gonna lit off you, but Jaeger's gonna get a kill for himself on, I believe so, Jackal, who's pushing top.
Yeah, Mr. Reaper, yeah.
Absolutely. So right now, Thunderbird's in a 1v1 against Mute still. Mute's gonna rotate. I believe so. Is he?
Yeah, dropping
drops
down.
Back freezer.
Whose silhouette was that? Because there's somebody like right around them. This is Buck, but Badger is currently droning, so technically, or potentially a free kill. It remains to be seen, but right now I truly do not know what is going to happen. Looks like Goons is playing it passive, just wants to wait till the, I'm gonna guess, like 30 last seconds of the round before walking back up the stairs, which could, you know, spell disaster for the attack.
Absolutely, he might get a flank on him on my bad on Finka right here. Will he manage to get a flank? I'm not so sure.
No, then he's outside now.
Yeah, she rotated back outside. Jaeger's gonna get a refrag here from Zofia. Mute's playing bottom red. I don't believe they got the info on Mute. Mute could be really, really dangerous right here for a late flank.
Buck
They're working vertical. That's really good from Buck.
But
That's
I just don't see any actual results happening as a result of that, because look at where Buck is. Okay, yeah, they're repositioned, but nobody was in that area up until a few moments ago. Now Haiku is going to be present, and of course, if Buck wants to claim that kill, now that somebody is present, well, that somebody is looking at the angle, so I don't see how Haiku would be caught off guard, to put it that way. The attack still has the advantage of having the numerical advantage. They have 50 seconds to work with, which should be, and when I say should be, doable. After all, oh well, it looks like one of the pellets is still gonna blow up.
The kill here. They're gonna be pushing white. I'm surprised they're not pushing cocktail at the same time, but they're gonna just be pushing, go for refrags. Echo in Freezer is gonna Echo use his echoes. He's in a 1v3 situation because one man's need to rotate towards cocktail. One man's gonna get himself in a gunfight. They're going for play Hibana. They're gonna get the kill here on. Oh, and Echo's gonna be unlucky here for the play. He was probably trying to play just time, you know, trying to deny plant, but he's gonna get killed right here. Plus, because Finka just heard probably him go on his drones. That's kind of unfortunate for the defense. I mean, obviously Eclectiq, but I mean, if we just look overall, the attack adapted super well from the first round they played. They pushed from the wall. That's exactly what they had to do. They got those two roamers, Jaeger and Mew. I don't know how Finka knew about the Mute, but she did get the kill on him, so congrats to her. And after we just, that's why the low control is super important, because when you go for a cocktail push, you blow that off from below. It's really hard for the defense to play in cocktail. So you gotta rotate through freezer, and you gotta rotate top white, and at that point it's just cook a nade, shoot a nade top white, and you're probably gonna get a kill. And I believe that's how I'm not so sure. I don't want to say anything. No, it was smoke. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we are now going to be heading into, well, our very likely overtime at this point, right? So any team winning 2 rounds in a row has happened before, but not too often. And now that both teams are more or less like in the crew of things, I don't think they are going to either team's getting like 2 rounds slip at this point. Eclectiq, they just lost on their preferred bomb site, so it's going to come to no surprise that we're here at the top floor yet again. But this can be a good thing for either teams depending on how it goes. Eclectiq knows which mistakes they made last round and what not to repeat. But then again, InControl just won. So if they were to repeat the same thing that they did last round, logic would argue that they are going to win this round. It remains to be seen. You know, the human factor and the sheer randomness of Siege can have the situation go either way. But so far, both teams are likely to be at their very best. The mute jammer right there, let's not run the drone into that. But what else is there that I could add? Honestly, like, not too much. Koala here into Cigar Lounge, the most predictable thing ever, with the 1 discs to just stay alive as long as possible. It is not going to be a Vulcan shield this time around. So the one good news is, once the shield gets destroyed, he could still presumably peek from the doorway itself with minimal risk to his person. Goons, with the natural stuff from beneath, is no longer interested in playing below. And all things considered, the attack is making a decent time, but the true question is going to be how long will Koala last for? Could he even get like a kill or 2? Now, this shield is likely to get destroyed, I want to say. There you have it. The most predictable thing ever. It really is going to come down to gunfights. I want to see how the gunfights are going to play out now.
Absolutely. We see these guys doing a buff push. They're not even taking low, maybe because they got pre-play shown and they're not worried about the mute anymore. That might be why they're changing their push. But I mean, it's the play on. We're going to see Jackal though below. Track and mute, I guess. Because he was the one roaming. But I mean, we see these guys getting control pretty quick. They're not in piano yet. There's 1 minute 20 seconds, so they gotta hurry up and get the, I'm gonna say, the movement going, because at some point, if they keep wasting time, they won't be able to play. Jacko's gonna get a kill for himself. He's gonna get Goon. First good pick for the the attack. The only C4 denial possible is dead. Smoke was gonna be using smokes. He's got 2 left. 55 seconds left on the round. So he's gotta be careful with those smokes, how he's used them. Jaeger should be playing aggressive in the freezer. He might get picked right here. We'll be pushing white stairs. If they, yeah, they got coordination right here. Really good coordination from Finka and the 2 guys top white.
Oh,
Smoke's gonna
potential.
drop though. Do they get the intel? Jaeger's gonna get a kill for himself. They did hear the smoke. Eclectiq is in a 2v4. Still got 2, maybe 2 equal jumps. No, I don't believe they have any left. I believe Jaeger just died, and after Echo just follows up. Really good push from the attack. We just see these guys playing so much better than they used to at the beginning. They're just probably just warming up, I guess. These guys push perfectly that push. They got below, they got the mute, and after they coordinate themselves to get the guy top right, and that was really well played. Because when you get that white control and you get the below control, there's not much the defense can do. You got crossfires from maybe Skylight, Cigar, Piano, and white stairs. These guys are all bunched up and they can't do much. It was a nice try though from the smoke that we just saw. Try to flank, but he probably too late. He should have opened the hatch earlier and try to silence drop or make a sound at the same time as dropping. Try to camouflage that sound, but it was kind of unlucky.
Yeah, mute. Smoke, sorry, did shoot when they were dropping the hatch. But of course, that just indicates even more where you are, I suppose, or I'm not entirely sure what exactly the attackers picked up on, like the feet touching the ground, or was it the player shooting? Vertical sound can be a bit weird in the game sometimes, on top of that, right? But all things considered, we are going the distance. We're going to be playing all 12 rounds of regulation. And now this is kind of do or die for Eclectiq. Either they win this round or InControl Nation takes the first map. This was Eclectiq's map on top of that, just to specify. So, yeah, losing on your map is never a good look.
10 seconds left.
Alright, are you still with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the moment that Eclectiq gotta shine off because it's their map. So if they lose the first map and it's their map, it's not only a question of momentum. It's only a question of mindset, right? Because you lose your map and you're going in the enemy map. So I mean, it's kind of discouraging at that point. So they need to win that round, go in overtime and win that first map, because otherwise it's gonna be really hard to come back and put two maps back to back.
I kind of like what InControl Nation are doing though. So they're not always, doing the typical top-down push, which would be expected from just about anybody and their moms. Is that a French expression that is said in English, or is that the actual English expression? I get confused sometimes. Everybody and their dog. That's the English expression. Yeah. So everybody will be doing the top-down push. Of course, if they're attacking from above, goons will be fleshed out. Who else is like up there? And now that you hypothetically have top-floor control, well, then you can just use back to breach the floor through and through, and then take pressure on the defense that way. But it doesn't look like this is what the attack is going for. MX Reaper, Serve, and a few other guys are trying to go into Freezer. The problem being it's muted, it's jammed. Do you want to take top control to destroy the floor and destroy the mute jammer this way? It does not look like it's going to be the case too much. After all, you do have a few roamers here or there, so it looks like the attack is going to simply wait for any other genius idea to come to their minds.
I don't really like what I see from the attack, because here we see there's still a lot of roamers above at least 2.
Yeah.
So from that point, with all those line of sight they got from above, it's going to be really hard for the attack to push on site and execute a plan. So they need to get those roamers as soon as possible, because otherwise it won't be possible for these guys to play. Or I doubt it, at least.
It looks like the attack also just realized with Serve here that the hatch is opened up, and so that anybody that wants to push in through the freezer is going to have it pretty hard. It's time. Even though this is totally known by other teams, Serve is really doubling down, shooting yet even more Hibana pellets to breach it. So now Koala is going. Oh, Koala's going the wrong angle. Sorry, that's Serve right there. Goons goes down. Got a kill, or Goon is going to go down for real this time. Not before he got a kill on serve, so that's going to be it for the hard breach part of the round. So it basically is going to be either doorways or the breach freezer. Attack with the diffuser. Badger going down as well. That's Koala, the roaming game from above. Exactly what you were mentioning. You cannot really try to be sneaky when the defense has roamers, and you know about that. So with 32 seconds on the clock, Max, nice wallbang headshot. I gotta give him that. But Max is only now starting like the counter roam phase, and alone with 20 seconds, sorry, to go. He's not gonna pull it. He's not gonna make it. I'm sorry. So now it's basically overtime, except if he really can manage to pull a rabbit out of his hat. But that's not going to happen.
Like I said earlier, these guys had top control. They seem to be coordinating themselves really good. I mean, they had someone watching pillar. They were pushing from above. It seemed really like a really good push, if I can be honest right here. But they just gave up top floor and just decided to push site for some reason. You need to get those roams controlled, because otherwise you're going to see exactly what we just saw right there. There's no way for these guys to push site without getting those crossfires. These guys are helping from above and watching your line of sights from where you're pushing. So you cannot even manage to push in sight.
Yeah.
It's not even a question of you getting refragged on site. It's a question you're not even able to get on site. So at that point, you have to get top floor control. I mean, defense played that correctly, just didn't rotate. They held upstairs. Attack gave up for some reason. So I guess we're just going overtime at that point.
10 seconds to go.
Quite unfortunate. But yeah, great defensive round right there.
So let's see how it is going to play out for the first round of overtime. We're going to be seeing Eclectiq. So remember, Eclectiq, they were defending just now. The roll swap can sometimes have an impact, right? So defending seems to be a tiny bit easier. Not really. It's 3-3. Attacking and defensive scoreline 1 for both teams. Of course, right, they had similar results, thus the overtime situation. But yeah, if you have the roll swap, it can, change up the dynamic. This is not going to be the case. InControl Nation are going to have the quote-unquote tiny bit harder side. The attack has to make something happen. If not, the defenders win. And this is going to put a bigger mental strain on them than on Eclectiq. This is like the only thing I wanted to point out at this stage, because we really do not know how that's going to go.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to see these guys doing the exact same hold. They're going to be rolling 3 guys from above. And we see those line of sights being made again from the defenders. These guys, the attackers, I mean, InControl Nation, they do have to adapt. And we're going to see these guys going for above push. They gotta push from above, because otherwise we're going to see the exact same result as the last round. They should know what to do because they know exactly what they did last round wrong. So let's just see if they can adapt at that point.
You're totally right. I mean, if they did not realize that their lack of top floor control is what led to them losing the round, they would not even have deserved to qualify to the league in the first place. Which is a roundabout way of saying they absolutely know what went wrong, and they're absolutely, as is showing right now, know what they have to do to make this work. The question is, as far as the plan's concerned, I'm totally on board. The execution and, the outcome of, gunfights, basically, yet remains to be known. Goons? I'm gonna learn to talk and breathe at the same time. Goons is still on the top floor. The drone spotted them out. I love what Goons is doing right now, because without too many jammers, reinforced walls, ADS devices, it's not a matter of creating a secondary weaker bomb site. It's a matter of being the sneaky and stealthy roamer, which is what Goons was doing by moving around as soon as the drone saw them. It's not gonna yield any results, but I'd still enjoyed seeing that nitro setup could have been interesting, but then he's just not gonna stay there for too long, and that is gonna be a pinch as MX Reaper is walking up from the bottom stairs, but Semi just no longer is there. The attackers had to fight to take top floor control, and now they're fighting to get second floor control, and just remember that the actual bomb site is on the first floor. So that kind of that level of challenge that the defense has given up, or is presenting to them, is absolutely beautiful. But InControl are responding in kind, and now they have the numerical advantage, a minute to work with. This seems doable, but not outright, one in advance for them.
No, I mean, it's a pretty tight round right now. Did they get top control? That's really good. They do have the Intel and Jaeger right here. If they execute for a plan, it's really possible, but Smoke probably has 2 smokes left by them. So it's but they're gonna get a kill on Smoke. It's a 2v4 for the attacking round. Maz is gonna get a refrag for his teammate. It's a 3v2. These guys gonna execute this. They only got 20 seconds left. Jump the window, kill this wall. Muz is gonna get refragged though. Jaeger's gonna find himself in a 1v2.
Attackers have located a bomb.
They have to go for the kill, I believe. So it's gonna be super hard to defend. Jaeger's gonna get a kill for himself. They're gonna get the refrag. Really, really well played from the attack. I mean, I don't believe the play to go back right away in kitchen was the move to do, because these guys have, and you're doing the exact same strat, right? So they have the strat fresh in mind. They know exactly how you guys were playing, so they know exactly how to play against it. Instead of if you go in, like, obviously they're going somewhere else, and they're going on the 17 round, I believe so. 78. Oh, let's go.
Say it in French,
so yeah,
maybe I can
that point-
translate.
Sorry, what?
Say maybe you say it in French and I could translate.
I mean, if they just waited longer to
Oh,
play
okay.
that site, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They replayed it way too sooner because the attacker knew exactly what to do to counter that strat, right?
Gotcha.
If they played it maybe a little bit
Attackers have located a bomb.
later, they would have probably been able to, it's not fresh anymore. They don't really know where they're playing at or whatever. So that's that's pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
But in general, just really good adaptation from the attacking team.
I see what you mean, and I would tend to agree with you. So, looking at what we have right now, this is going to be once again, mining defense. Last time we went to mining, InControl Nation actually won that defense. This was a long time ago. By round number 3 at the still pretty early stages of the map, I was confused as to why they'd want to go there. This is like an unheard of bomb site. It is so much weaker compared to anything else. And I kind of suppose this is what InControl Nation are banking on, because if Eclectiq are never attacking the bomb site, well, then they don't really know how to push into it, which ended up leading to, once again, InControl's victory on that one round. Pretty cautious as to not to get spawn peeked. You always love to see this. But I am kind of curious to see what Eclectiq is going to do now, because the top floor control is what you'd be expecting, but then again, it would be playing into InControl's hand, as they're gonna have the dummy with the shotgun right here. Remember just how ill-fated that push was last time for exactly this reason? I think Eclectiq knows that, because now they're acting accordingly.
So that's absolutely, and I mean, it's super risky to play where Zofia's playing without any teammates watching the white stairs, so that's why she's kind of tending to watch white stairs, bottom white stairs. She's gonna repel up though, and they should be able to get counter control really, really quick. I'm not gonna lie. Though, as I say that, Alibi's gonna be playing aggressive in piano, get the first pick for his team. Great pick here for the defense. Onto Zofia, their top fragger, I believe so.
Right you are, Zofia. So Duke with 14 kills. The second top fragger for Eclectiq would be Koala. Let's take his POV right now with 10 kills. Definitely nothing to sneeze at, don't get me wrong. But then again, cut the head and the snake and the rest of the body is going to fall. This is a situation which applies more or less. There's no clear singular leader whose team really couldn't work without them. But now the positioning is going to be quite bizarre, I want to say. So Semi kind of trying to figure out where MX Reaper is to, of course, take them out. But you're taking the top floor, you're taking the first floor, and that makes for a disjointed push because the different teammates aren't working together, and those isolated incidents really aren't going to go too well. Semi is a support player. You really cannot win a gunfight against the MX4 is the name of the gun, right? Especially at that range with that rate of fire. Yields predictable results. InControl Nation now firmly in the driver's seat. This is match point situation, right? Eclectiq, if they don't win this round, the map is entirely lost. And yeah, that start of the round was not convincing whatsoever, so you could just hope they're going to be able to pull off a hero play somehow for the rest of the round. Koala has an ace, right? So one grenade with a nice little toss could yield a free kill, but that's about the amount of basically free goodies they're going to get from the other team.
Absolutely. Defense going to try to play aggressive here. They're going to, Attack's going to try to play super aggressive if you're not being able to get the kill on Castle. Castle's going to get a kill for himself, and here Bonnett's going to die. That's an ace for Alibi. I thought Castle got a kill Pillar, but it seems Alibi got the kill on Hibana, who dropped. No, wait, whoever it was. who dropped pillar. Alibi popped off last round and got an ace for her team. Great job from InControl Nation. Wow, great game, great first game.
Yep. So 8-6. That is. That's yeah. In Control Nation, I was worried I had written it down wrong. Let's just go for the replays of the round real quick. Only 3 of them. I am hating myself right now to have missed so many kills from Alibi. That is unfortunate. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. And yes, it looks like our 6 analysts did not work out for me as the observer. There's still a few glitches, or bugs, I should say, in the new version since the update. And I will let the dev know that this does not work. The funny thing is, I had let them know that this didn't work. I told the guy. And so I had received some sort of like beta preview version to see if it works. Unfortunately didn't. Okay, yeah, but those little details put aside. Let's talk about either the round, or let's ask the players if they want to take 5. Okay, yeah, so they're asking for 5 minutes. Let's take 5. So yeah, freezing. Do you want to maybe try and fill the 5 minutes break? So talking about what we just saw, the player's playstyle, or should we just take a break and, you know, return in 5 minutes?
I mean, it's as you wish. To be honest, if you want to take a break, we can take a break, or I can.
I think we're gonna do
you know,
that. Because let's not talk out of our asses just for the sake of talking out of our asses, you know. So guys,
yeah.
we are gonna take a short break. We'll be back in just 5 minutes time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be there. And we are back. 10 players in the lobby, just waiting for the ready from the players. And so let's just take a moment to appreciate what we have here. The first match went into overtime. It is as close as can be. Well, not exactly 7 to 8, but 7 to 6 is still pretty tight. You and I, both being French Canadian, I guess I won't mind too much if the Frenchies, the Canadians, sorry, InControl Nation, being the Canadian team if they took the first map. So there you have it. MX Reaper for InControl saying they are ready. Should be ready by then. Okay, and Koala saying take 2 minutes to introduce the match, which is what we're doing right now. And after 2 minutes or so, the other team should be ready as well. So this was Eclectiq's map. InControl Nation winning on that map. Now we're going to be going into Clubhouse, which is InControl Nation's map. And so what I'm about to say might be about like 2-ish years old, ancient in siege terms. But I heard the fact somewhere that and they are ready. So let's just get going in the meantime. So let's just type GLHF and start up the match. The team that picks the map itself, of course, is not going to pick spawn sides. It's the team that didn't choose the map. And so they're going to choose the spawn sides, which is going to lead to them winning the map, right? And the example is if you start attacking first, you get the momentum, which is then going to help you to win out the match. But if and that might be like one of the reasons or one of the factors why sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. I was not expecting R68 to be recorded by the game. Sorry about that. By the way, the resolution seems off. Thatcher as our first ban. How surprised are you, or how not surprised are you? I'm sorry, I've been hogging the mic for way too long.
I'm gonna be super honest. I'm not surprised at all. Thatcher is always a common ban, like I said on first map. I mean, Thatcher is so good, and we're gonna see Flores, the exact 2 attacking map, same bans. I mean, Flores a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of a little bit surprised in Clubhouse that Flores gonna get banned. Maybe for getting Raptor control and making the player Raptors rotate, but otherwise, I'm not seeing Flores being that good on Clubhouse. You're gonna see Valkyrie, who was the exact same ban on the last game as well, and I guess we're gonna see a Mirror.
That wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, because Mirror's super good on that site. We can see Mirror on Arsenal. We can see a Mirror as well in Gym Master. Here we go. So it's going to be the exact same 4 bands that we saw in Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I'm not that surprised. Not at all. These are decent. And
it's to be expected that the best operators get banned out every single time, because that's just how things work.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Just a quick question to you, because I may just be the stupid one. So the background colors behind, for example, Maverick being gold, Jaeger being red, what does that mean? Is that supposed to be indicating some kind of information, or is it just at random? I get that Sledge here being the elite operator, he's gonna have something special, but the other guys, I'm not sure.
I mean, if you can put the color gold behind the operator, that means you got the elite skin on the operator, and you could my bad, as well put the skin that you want on the picture of the operator without putting it in game, so they can like customize their card.
Yeah, right. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so they can. That's a new thing they put in, but without putting those skins in game, you can just customize your card.
Right, because right here, Jaeger, for example, is not using, or is there? Okay, no, I was wondering if that was like the elite, maybe just the head face, but no, it really is like the Pro League thing. So there you have it. Okay, round number 1, gym and bedroom. This is somewhat odd. So let's see how that is going to go. The usual answer to that situation is, oh, this is not something Eclectiq were expecting, so Eclectiq will have picked a composition to maybe attack somewhere else, and now they're going to have to, quote-unquote, make do. And with any luck, the element of surprise is going to play in favor of InControl Nation, which would then offset the fact that they went to a weaker bomb site. How well does that play out? Sometimes it works, but not always, because of course the composition is going to be fairly flexible, you know? A Sledge, a Hibana, a Yana are going to be good no matter the bomb site, is the honest answer, right? So, hey, this is my 2 cents. Let's see how it plays out. For right now, I suppose we could see a multi-pronged push. The typical stuff, right? Opening up into CCTV to flush out the roamers who are not there for the time being, and pushing from balcony at the same time. Could be interesting, but always there's going to be the gunfight factor itself, which is truly going to decide if you win or lose a round. Oh, and Goon's already going strong.
Absolutely. We're gonna see these guys pushing hard pushing master side. They're gonna try to C4 the Maverick, I guess so. Maverick tricking.
Oh, is that gonna work?
Nope. He's gonna get a kill. Nah,
It doesn't.
unfortunately he won't get a kill. Goyo though got first pick. I didn't realize that. That's -1 C4 obviously for the defense, and obviously Bandit usually C4. That means there's no more C4 denial for the defenders.
Yeah.
Looking really hurt for the attack, to be honest.
Yeah, they're off to a good start, and the timer is also looking really strong for them. If I was to also bring up the fact that the positioning is pretty focused around the bomb site itself, right? So Eclectiq didn't even have to fight to take control of cash, and there's going to be Juke with yet another kill. Badger might want to relocate now because that's MK14 has a longer range, and you might want to be, I don't know, somewhere else, right? But right here, both attack and MX, that could be nasty, and it is going to be a kill. Was she even cooking a nade? But Duke likely is going to swing in to get the refrag. No, Patience wins. Patience does win the day before I can finish out that sentence. So in a 1v4 situation, that is really, really not looking good. And as I say this, Eclectiq are going to take round number 1.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw these guys playing really, really well. They pushed through cash. They saw nobody was playing there. Zofia didn't play too aggressive, got that pick, I believe, so can't remember who it was behind the show. Really good pick.
Bandit.
Managed to breach the
right?
wall.
Or was it Jaeger? Was Jaeger, I want to say. Let's look at the replays, actually. Let's look at the replays.
Yeah, we just saw it's Jaeger.
So, there you go.
So at that point, I mean, they played those angles, got those kills. Great. I mean, what Bandit did right there was really, really good, because when you're at the pitch like that, and you don't have you're outnumbered, I'll say. You want to play aggressive to bring back the numbers towards you. What I mean by that, if you're in a 3v5, there's no point in holding crossfires because you're gonna get refrag or you're gonna get out pushed, and that's gonna be like, I mean, you're gonna lose that round at that point. So most of that time, you just wanna, you know, play aggressive, get these guys off guard, and bring back those numbers towards you. So that was a really good play from Benny. I just don't know how Ibana got the kill on him though. But I mean, overall, great push from the attack. Not gonna lie. Really well coordinated.
All things considered, we could say that InControl's Nation Gambit to go to the top floor did not work out too great for them. And therefore, we're now going to be seeing something that's a bit more expected, right? So InControl Nation going on the bottom floor into Church, into Arsenal, and the top floor roam is going to be somewhat reminiscent of an SSG strat, you know, with the jammers and the mute, Mozzie's Pest. This creates exclusion zones where the drones really cannot get to. Donnie on top of that, and that could not be a run out. No, don't run out, because they are not just sitting there droning. They actually had their guns up, and then he goes down extremely early into the round. However, this is not exactly the SSG basement strat because we're seeing no castle, but that does not matter as Goons already is going to be in the bomb site. What are we seeing right now? The plant could happen in just a few moments. The defenders in a mad scramble to get back on site. Right here, Serb will be the only one holding the angle. Gets gunned down by Koala. 2 players left. Diffuser actually being planted. And of course, the attackers doing whatever it takes to prevent the defense of getting to that sacred lunchbox. Badger goes down. Reaper, last one alive. That gun is pretty decent. Gets 1. Looking for 2 more. Duke, low on health, could fall down with the slightest breeze in their direction. But Koala, with 2 nades, is going to be the true threat here.
I mean, if I'm Mozzie in a 1v2, he's got to push someone right away, try to get those 1v1s, because otherwise he's going to miss some time. He won't be able to defuse bomb. Pushing through Armory. He's going to get the kill on Sledge. Zofia 1 HP. This is touchable for Mozzie. He's got to go right now.
Oh no, the
he's
timer.
Defuse. He's got to stick it.
No, he can't make it. It's lost. It's lost.
Will he be able to? Nah, unfortunately, Zofia's going to get the kill on him. I mean, good push, good read on the attack. They saw they were roaming. They were doing a seeming like around an SSG push. I don't believe it was the exact SSG push, but they were roaming. And at that point, they just decided to push site with 2 anchors. Got the first one in Armory off guard. Maestro did refrag, but really, really good push to be honest.
Yeah, the secret to counteracting the SSG push really is the rush, because
Located by attack.
if you can force your opponents to be in a retake situation, the diffuser is going to be already planted and you're already going to have your angle set up. It doesn't matter that you are, for example, not going to have opened up the kitchen, or the kitchen, sorry. So the hatch, vertical play to cover the diffuser, namely, is not going to be there. But you truly don't need it, so does it matter? Answer is no. You know? Alright. So the replays are still showing, but in the meantime, it will come to no surprise to absolutely anyone that the upcoming round is going to be played into the CCTV area. But at this point, I don't know. InControl Nation are starting off weak-ish, right? Momentum so far firmly in favor of Eclectiq. And yeah,
Seconds left before
Club isn't exactly supposed to be that offense-sided. So what happened to the InControl Nation team that we saw just 10 minutes ago?
attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
I believe Clubhouse is pretty much a 50-50 map. It is a good attacking map, but it is as well a good defensive map. I love what I'm seeing from InControl.
Oh no! Oh no!
He lit off Castle really bad. Castle having maybe 55 HP left. That's quite unfortunate. But like I said earlier, this map is all about playing aggressive at the right time. Clubhouse is really hard to play it defensive. You just gotta play aggressive at those right moments and get those refrags at defense. You gotta know when to fall back either and what fight to take, to be honest. I just feel like from what I've seen, Eclectiq are just adapting better on Clubhouse. They're just playing really well. They're reading well what the defensive strat is, and they're just adapting.
If I may,
As we can see,
there's like only smoke on bomb sites. Tack is in garage, Reaper's in garage, Server's was on the first floor, and Dunny's on the first floor, sorry. So that left us with only Badger on bomb site itself, and I was getting kind of worried for the defense because Duke had already opened up the first wall, and look at that. Make sure that the cross angles are not being held, you know, smoke not looking the right way. The attackers could literally run through the opening without getting shot at, and this is not a good look for InControl Nation. It looks like Eclectiq aren't quite willing to risk it all in such a predictable, you simply hold W until it happens kind of push, but the opening is definitely there.
they're gonna nade smoke below. Smoke getting lit to 1 HP. I mean, Smoke's gonna try to use his smokes right now, try to slow down their push. They're gonna try to second nade him. Unfortunately, not gonna be happening. Maestro's playing. Goyo's playing below here in lounge, trying to get slow these guys down a little bit. Might be getting naded. Oh, he's gonna get the kill on Maverick. Great first kill here from huge kill here from Goyo. These guys, the attacker's gonna rotate. Oh, but it's a kill here for Goons, and Hibana's gonna get a kill for herself as well. I mean, these guys just rotate towards construction, opening Maywall, being able to cut the rotation. My bad. They might have to go for a push. Goyo has no C4 denial plant. Oh, is he gonna get the kill on Zofia? No, he's gonna barely miss her. These guys are gonna be executed for a push soon.
Oh, but there you have it.
Huge kill here from Goyo. Almost getting a third kill here on Sledge. Hibana's gonna go try for a plant. But these guys are gonna be able to deny a plant. Yes, Goyo jumps in, gets a third kill for himself.
With 14 seconds to go, Goons, now last one alive, has to get the triple kill. Planting is no longer an option. That deathmatch situation was lost from the get-go. Didn't need to get that aggressive, but Tack just really wants to get the kill, right? My precious, gotta pad the stats. My Golem impression is like really poor right now, but there you have it. This is going to be the first victory for InControl Nation, and the momentum being such a prominent factor in the game makes it so that it was pretty important for the Orange team to win a round eventually in order to stop the bleeding, if not for the points, then at least for the momentum. So
So in other words, I mean, wow, great fucking sorry, I swear. Great round from Goyo. I mean, that guy played aggressive in those right moments, like I said earlier. He has to play aggressive. They're outnumbered. And he played aggressive, got diffuser down, managed to fall back. I mean, the cover was probably a little bit poor, but the man landed some crazy shots. I'm not going to lie. On that Zofia repellent, what a great shot on Goyo. He pretty much shaped the round, to be honest. I mean, the cover was not that bad either. It's just uncommon to jump over that wall and try to get the planer down. But I mean, yeah, like I said, just overall, great job from Goyo. He's the one pretty much shaped the round.
Oh, he really was. So this leads us nicely into round number 4. The rule swap is, slowly but surely creeping up on us. And so far, Eclectiq are showing that they are basically team in the driver's seat, except for the last one round.
5 seconds to go.
So,
Attackers have
we're now
located
going to be
a bomb.
seeing Dunny with the Capcan. This is
Attackers are
interesting.
heading
I
out
haven't
to the
seen a Capcan played here before, or on this match, right? A Capcan on Clubhouse period has been seen, definitely. So what can we expect? This is once again going to be some kind of extended roam game with a castle, with, of course, the roamers and everything. But how exactly is that going to play out? Because remember just last time how Eclectiq knew how to just short circuit and ignore the roaming game? I'm somewhat worried that this is going to be just a different repeat of what we saw before, as they're just going to ignore the roamers, but just pushing differently because the roamers are roaming differently. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are already making some amount of progress, and there's a castle barricade. Okay, that is why not too many defenders are pointing their guns at this entryway right now.
I believe that's why they as well played Capcan. They placed all the Capcans below to try to slow down the rush if they were trying to go for a rush again.
Makes so much sense. You're totally right. That angle is extremely interesting. MX Reaper has to hold it for a bit longer. ICS is going to be blown to bits and pieces by goons. The idea being, okay, it's not too rare to see a couple of attackers go into the dirt tunnel. Think, for example, Sledge to destroy the castle barricade and then just walk back out to open up something else, right? So if MX Reaper was to stay there, MX could basically cut down the rotations between back and forth with the dirt tunnel, but that is just not going to be the case, as, well, kills are going to be happening regardless of what that alibi does, and it looked like Haiku was actually ready for MX Reaper, who himself should have been ready in the first place. 1v3 situation, not looking too great for Eclectiq. However, with 1 minute 13 on the clock, if you want to rotate, if you want to drone like we're seeing right now, maybe use the X-Kairos pellets. We don't exactly... Oh yeah, she's got 14 left to that Hibana to open up a new hatch, probe a different angle. All of those possibilities are available to her. The timer is going to allow for that, but Haiku now can no longer really hesitate. Is that going to be a hot drop? That's going to be a hot drop. Hot drop, there we go. The feet might have been hurt, but there's somebody right there. No!
That's unfortunate for the Hibana. Nice
really
try,
is.
though. To be honest, I believe it was just uncoordinated push from the attack.
It was.
They didn't rush this round, and they kind of slow rushed and all pushed dirt without having any crossfire. I mean, it did work first round, right? Because it was not... They were not ready for it. The defense team was not ready for it, and at that point, that's why it worked. They tried to hit the second round. They took a little bit more time to get the push, and they had to maverick the castle. That's not the play. At least nade it, right? Rush in and get those refrags. They tried to maverick it, got outgunned, got C4 from below. I mean, overall, great play from the defensive and great adaptation from them. I mean, they played that really... Like, they were just ready for the rush dirt, I guess.
Yeah, this was really predictable, like you said.
Absolutely.
So, round 5. How are we going to go into the second half? 4-2 or 3-3? These are the only two options that are left to us at this point.
I mean, it's for sure that if we're looking at InControl Nation, they want to go at least 4-2. Because they're probably... I mean, I said earlier it's a 50-50 map, and if we're talking about attack and defense sided. But most teams are more, how can I say this? More,
I'm listening.
I got the word. Allies.
They're more comfortable, let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, more comfortable, my bad. More comfortable with defense always, because it's a lot easier to coordinate yourself in defense. So if we're looking at InControl, if you're on their map, I mean, they probably want to go for it too, to be at least having a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a, at least 2 rounds to play with.
I totally get what you mean, and this makes total sense. I want to say, if you were to talk about the flip side of that factor, oh, that is not the best use of a Gemini, if I can put it that way, if I may. Somebody's gonna have like flashes somewhere to destroy it. Regardless, there goes a Mixed Reaper. The drone is gonna see them. The drone does not get shut down. So hey, intel being kept. Semi opening up the wall. And what I was trying to say is, as the attackers, since, like you mentioned, it is a bit harder to be coordinated and to work together, it is going to be more draining on the mental aspect of it. Since this is a best-of-3 series, at some point, the players might start to become tired. And at that point, the tiredness factor of it, or the stamina, or lack thereof, is going to affect the attacking team more than the defending team, which might be a factor as to why there could be a point to be argued that you'd rather want to attack attack first, sorry, because, you know, you're going to be more tired later on, and so keep the quote-unquote easier side for the later stages of the game. I've been rambling for way too long. Badger could roam, could flank, gets one, looking for a second, gets refragged, actually. An attempt has been made, and that is, of course, going to slow down and stall the attack, but not for too long. MX Reaper with the angle, but oh no! Getting distracted at the wrong time is going to prove fatal. Now 2v4 out of nitro cells. Serve would presumably have a few yokai drones left, but now is not the right time to pull out the cameras. And so
If Kai can manage to get that kill on Sledge, it's going to be a really good pick. Wamai's going to get a kill. Or it was Echo, my bad. Kai's gonna get a great kill here. Duke with a quad kill. Is he gonna be able to win his ace?
Well, Duke is
Kai's
dead now.
in a 1v1.
Yeah, that was a nasty one tap to cut Duke's ace short. Unfortunately for them, Goon is going to plant. Is Dunny able to hear that? Dunny is able to hear that, to react accordingly, and Goon now low on health. Both players somewhat hurt, don't get me wrong. The grenade. Oh, and the yellow ping. No! That could have been dangerous. So unfortunate. That one might bounce just right. It will get the kill!
He's gonna get the kill. Wow. I mean, great play. They had intel on him. He didn't finish his kill, so that's the issue right here. Great play from the attacking. I thought Sophie was the last one alive, but she got one tap from Kaid, so that's my bad. But I mean, I'm not gonna say it's defense played wrong or bad right there, because they played really well on the retake. And like I said earlier, when you're losing 3 to 5, or when you're outnumbered, you want to play aggressive in those moments to try to get these guys off guard, right? So they were 2v4, they were able to bring this back to a 2v2 and finish it on a 1v1 because Sledge is kind of down, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, it's kind of a, you know, a 1v1.
It is a 1v1. Koala was feeding intel, you know, the yellow pings and such at the very last seconds of the round. You could argue the player was still contributing, but a drone could have done just as much. So, yeah, totally. Absolutely a 1v1. There's no way around that. Last round before the role swap. What can we expect from them at this point? This is going to be a CCTV defense. CCTV has been played exactly once. This is the second time we're going there, and it has been won by InControl Nation. I know that our sample size of historical data is limited to the number 1. So take historical data with a grain of salt for just that reason, but yet again, you could suppose that InControl Nation are stepping into this round with an inherent advantage because of that. The setup itself is going to be fairly typical, fairly simple, and as you would expect, Bandit is going to be there with the absence of any kind of Thatcher or Twitch or anything like that. You don't need to be sneaky with your Electro Claws, but it looks like the top wall isn't even going to be electrified. Isn't he trying to Bandit trick? Why is the last battery in their back pockets? Could not tell you. What I do know, however, is that the attackers already have blown a hole open somewhere with the Gon 6. Couldn't tell you where that was. I wanted to see the rush if there's something happening. So I feel blind right now. Man, take it away.
I mean, they seem to be going for the exact same push they went earlier. That means opening main wall and after rotating towards construction to get those crossfires like we saw. And I mean, if it wasn't about Goyo on that round, it would have been a completely different round and attack would have definitely won. So, I mean, on my point of view, it's not the attack who needs to to adapt. It's probably the defense. Because, I mean, Goyo was the only one who kind of clutched that round. So if the attack do the exact same thing, and Goyo is not able to clutch, and defense don't change anything, it's going to be really hard for these guys to actually win this round.
Oh yeah. If I can just rephrase that in my preferred way of saying it, personal preferences, right? The clutch factor is an reliable strategy to win your rounds. You don't want to commit down to that, which is why, as a team, you'd rather win in the first place. Koala seems to be expecting somebody to be down here. That somebody is going to be Serve. Why was I reading Silver? I am totally blind, man. And right here, we are seeing Semi cooking a nade, but that is not going to be destined for the roamers, actually trying to take somebody out on the bomb site itself. Of course, Mr. Reaper and such are going to be aware of their presence, but Semi's no longer there, so looking out for these doorways is not necessarily like the best use of resources. And it's kind of like what we saw before. Do you remember last time we saw on CCTV, the defense was all over the place, but for the bomb site itself. You know, Badger's the only one able to deny a plant should the lunchbox be planted right now. Of course, it's a hypothetical. It's not happening. But it just goes to show how thinly spread the defense is. And the attack only has to realize that to push in. And they actually are inside. Am I wrong? They are.
Oh, you're right. Yana managed to push in. They're going to get 2 kills. Managed to probably get a kill on the C4. No, never mind. Yana's going to be... Not at all lit. You didn't even get damage from that. It's good. Oh, attack defender's gonna be playing super aggressive. Gonna get 2 kills back, but the attacker's gonna be able to clutch it and bring this back. So it's gonna be a 4-2 for the attack.
Impressive.
I mean, it's looking pretty good for the Eclectiq. Not gonna lie.
It's impressive. Yeah.
I mean, if I can be honest, maybe they chose attack because they were more comfortable as well in attack. So maybe they're less comfortable in defense. But like you said earlier, it's maybe because they want to start earlier on attack. It's gonna be less fatigue. When it's gonna be like they were gonna be more fatigued later on, so they'll keep playing defense. That's gonna be a lot easier to keep playing. I'm not sure I'm saying it properly, but whatever you said earlier.
No, don't worry. So this was interesting. I enjoy the way the ROM is quite spread out. You know, I did say that we're spread thin. But the upside of that is that if you are winning your rounds or if you're winning your engagements, that thinly spread roam game is basically covering the entire map. You know, it just depends on if you win your gunfights or not. We can then qualify you being spread out too thin or just adequately covering a large portion of the map. I feel like I'm talking in circles. The first defense here from Eclectiq, already, you know what I'm going to say. I am interested in looking at the differences between the way Eclectiq defense compared to how InControl does things, just to see which variation of the bottom floor defense is the best. And then to the team that lost, we could say you should have done what the team that wins does. Who that is yet remains to be seen. But what we do note are this wall not being reinforced on purpose, of course, because the Vulcan shield, because the Aruni gate, and because those reinforcements can be used elsewhere. Reinforcement here, and not too heavy ROM presence. You know, InControl Nation were all over the map before. Eclectiq would rather make the bomb site itself so much tougher not to crack.
I mean, we'll see these guys playing a lot more passively than we saw InControl Nation play. We're going to see all 5, I believe, defenders on site or around site.
You're right.
It's not something that it's kind of something I like to see because these guys are going to rely on crossfires and play those shields to actually win the round. And this is something I really like to see instead of relying on roamers and I guess I mean wasting time is good as well. I mean it's the fact that these guys are going to be playing super passive on site and playing those crossfires that probably is going to make these guys win rounds. So that's pretty much what I like about it.
Yeah, the cross angle factor is pretty big on this bomb site in particular. And it's like one of the only areas in the entire game where you could say there's legitimately only 5 ways to make it into the basement as a whole, right? Just a couple of stairs here and there, a hatch, and the dirt tunnel. So with 5 players, you can legitimately block down the entire floor, and as such, you could argue that roaming is not even necessary, which is what Eclectiq are going for. You and I really both were saying the same thing, just with different words. But now everything is going to come down to gunfights. An example, Duke is the only one holding on the utility room, so if he dies, then he goes down, and then Haiku and Goons are the next one in line to basically have to fight for their lives. Same thing for pretty much everything, right? If Simi dies, well then, well, there you have it. This is going to be Badger. Cole and Duke both going down really quickly to Badger. Not an ace for Badger, as MX Reaper is going to get a kill there. And now it is going to be a retake situation. Already Haiku, last one alive. Reaper is technically down, even though it still counts as a flawless, because he didn't die proper.
Absolutely great round here from the attack. I'm not gonna lie, even a huge round. I mean, they just burned really quick. Great coordination, great calls on those shields. They burned those shields, got those shields really quickly bottom main. They got it really, really quick. And they managed to just push safe. Maybe a little bit slow though on the roam clearing, because I mean, we're looking at it. They're getting the shield. They burned the shield quick, like I said, but they took a long time before pushing bottom main when there was no roamers. So I mean, attack gotta be quicker than that. If there's no roamers, you should be able to take those main stairs controlled quicker and sooner, right? From my point of view, obviously. But I mean,
Yeah, that argument does hold water.
But I mean, they played really, really well overall, and they landed pretty much all their shots. A great flawless round from InControl.
That I just want to correct the mistake I just made. That point holds water, because argument would be to argue and to be in a disagreement. Just for the general knowledge of the guys at home, argument in French would translate to like point when you're debating something, right? So I just wanted to have a quick tidbit here and tell you guys where we're coming from. With that being said, we are going to be looking at our second round of defense for Eclectiq. That first round was a bit poor-ish, right? Flawless round one for InControl Nation, no way around that. And it depends on how you want to look at it, but you could argue that they were not aggressive enough, as of course, staying on bomb site is fine and all, but if you give the attacker the latitude to basically do whatever they want with the bomb site, they could encircle it, prepare their push without being harassed by any sort of roaming, well then of course the execute is going to be as good as it gets. And the result, of course, spoke for themselves. So seeing a bigger roam presence from Eclectiq might just be, you know, the missing ingredient in the previous round. That could be answered by Goons, Tier, Bait in Garage. There's Duke in Garage Storage. Everybody just calls that secret, right? And with the potential to walk down the stairs and walk back up from any position, aka roam. But for the time being, if nobody's harassing the attack, InControl will do what InControl does, and that will be opening up the walls here. Dunny will breach that, of course. Tackling vertical, pushing in from construction in just a few seconds. And once again, the defense is more or less encircled. However, is that a noose tightening around Eclectiq's neck, or is that InControl just running blindly, quote-unquote, to their doom? Yet remains to be seen. However, is that even going to fall down? That is so unfortunate that you did not even manage to destroy the mute jammer because of that. And this one is going to fall though, and there you have it. The jammer thus being destroyed. Serb's Tic Tacs are also going to blow. Looks like Badger gets a nice kill with the frag grenade. And yeah, first blood for InControl Nation. Duke still from underneath. That roam game has a lot of potential. I'm unsure if they have a drone on flank watch. Cycling through the POVs real quick. It doesn't seem like that's the case. That run up from Goons was crazy aggressive and is going to get shut down properly, as would be expected. With Duke not really being able to cover anything on the bomb site itself, Semi and Koala are going to be the only real defenders for the time being. A nice result. Could be prepped. Badger. Where did Badger die from? That was Semi with a shotgun. From the main door. Oh, that's unfortunate. And right now, I want to see Duke. I want to see what Duke does. That angle, though promising, he's looking directly where somebody is standing. but does not have proper line of sight. This is kind of unfortunate because Duke is doing everything right. Duke does everything right. Oh, that's what was outside. Okay, I am just totally blind. So sorry about that. Okay, 3v3 situation. 20 seconds to go. The attack is going to have to funnel in. Tack gets a kill on Semi. Duke still beneath. Cannot deny a plant. That kill is going to get... That kill is going to happen, but that was not on the guy planting. Tack, the only one covering, is looking at the stairs, knows exactly where they're going to be coming from. But now that the attackers, with, of course, the defensive-sided role, are going to be outside, this is going to be so hard for the defense to take them out. Serve, last one alive. Of course, he's not going to peek if he doesn't need to. The time is the name of the game at this point, and both teams are totally aware of that. Keeping an eye, a line of sight on the diffuser itself is going to be pretty important. There you have it. Duke playing it directly into Serve's hands. 1v1 situation, 15 seconds to go, and there you have it. Koala getting the kill and winning the round for Eclectiq, and soon as that lunchbox gets destroyed.
Defenders disabled the diffuser.
And overall, a great clutch from the defense team right there. They played that really, really well. Isolate that 1v1. And after in a 2v1, getting that refrag was really, really good. Great reading here from Mute. Overall, good job for defense.
Yep, there's really not much else that I could say, to be honest. We're going to be seeing Eclectiq pull ahead 5-3. This is looking better for them than what we saw on the first map. Is it enough? I would argue probably. The thing is, InControl Nation's points were scattered here and there. Whereas Eclectiq were able to win 3 rounds back to back to back from round 4 to 6. Arguably before the rule swap. So take that with a grain of salt. But they're definitely showing that they have the potential to do so. Period. Know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Defenders disabled the diffuser.
So,
I mean, if Eclectiq win this round, it's going to be a really hard combat for InControl Nation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. InControl have won the first attacking round. The first round since the rule swap, I should say. But that doesn't mean much, right? Eclectiq made a few mistakes. And this is how InControl was able to take it. I do not expect Eclectiq to repeat those mistakes. Those grave mistakes that led to a flawless round. So at this point, yeah, InControl really are going to have to properly fight for any kind of leeway they want to take.
Absolutely.
And that can be filtered through now. Yeah. Oh man. You sound tired. You didn't mention when we were off the camera that your health right now isn't like the best, but I hope you're like still following along with us.
Yeah, I seem really tired. It's because I am, but I'm fine. I'll just catch up a little bit. Just go wake up a little bit. I'm gonna see InControl getting bomb full control. I really like it because nades from below are really good, and if you get the intel that you can have on site, just yellow pink can manage you to get some kills on the master and gym rotation, and maybe even in bathroom. And getting those kills is gonna make your life a lot easier to push site and go for a plant. That's something I really like to see from the attacking team.
One thing that InControl weren't quite doing when they themselves were depending into gym was simply to have somebody on cash stash. Not that the attacking team InControl is pushing cash right now, but just out of the principle of the thing, to make sure that you have control over this portion, this crucial portion of the map. I enjoy seeing somebody there. Goons with the roaming game. I don't know, like, I would like to see a vigil proper, because the roaming that we're seeing right now is going to be like a Castle, a Goyo, a Jaeger, whose gadgets aren't actively going to help them out with the roam. It's just that, you know, the utility has been planted down, and so now you're free to do whatever, in a very broad sense. But that doesn't make for too good of a roam, because at best, you're only going to have your game sense and your accuracy. You know, you're not going to have a kit and utility and gadgets that are actively going to help you out with that. For example, if Goons was to be a Goyo, not a Goyo, sorry, a Vigil right now, you could argue that Tack would probably not be expecting him with a proper yellow ping. I don't know where the drone is, but that pre-fire, both teams, of course, or both players rather, being totally aware of their opponent's presence. And that was a drone hold feed somewhere that was that Surf was getting shot at through. But yeah, Badger still working their way towards the bomb site and just pushing in slowly but surely.
So we're gonna see Coons not playing too aggressive here. Barely managing to survive, to be honest, because if he would have pushed a little bit higher, Slush would probably got a free kill on that great pre-placed drone for flank. But I mean, defense gonna be bringing this back 3v2. Both attackers lit. It's gonna be 20 seconds left on the round. These guys are gonna need to push and execute soon. And they're gonna manage to get the kill on Rooney. He's gonna get a kill for herself. It's a 3v1 with 11 seconds left. He's got to isolate those 1v1s, got to play for kills, but he's going to get caught on a crossfire. Great job from defense. And we're going to manage to see my bad. Defense going to bring this back to 6-3.
Indeed. 6-3, this is huge. And at this point, I mean, the third map is looking increasingly likely. I don't see how InControl could pull this off. And therefore, by extension, as a reminder, if we go into a third map, it is going to be Oregon. And just like on maps 1 and 2, Eclectiq would be attacking first for overtime.
Absolutely.
For the start, well, rather, not overtime, but for the start.
10 seconds to go.
But yeah, so
Man, but I mean, if Eclectiq managed to win this game, 7-3, the moral and the momentum is going to be towards Eclectiq. I mean, they obviously lost first map, who was InControl. I mean, like their own map. They lost the first map, was their own map, and they're winning 7-3 the second map. Now, I mean, role has kind of been switched, right? Because at that point, we're going on a third map, and InControl just lost their map and pretty much got destroyed on their map. So if these guys manage to win 7-3, the momentum's going to be on the Eclectiq side, and most time than never, honestly. Momentum is really key in this game. So, Eclectiq managed to win this round. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be looking really good for Eclectiq for third map, I believe so.
5 seconds left.
right. I don't know what to say, man.
Moving out to locate a bomb.
Momentum can be throttled down by the gap between the two maps. If we take 5 minutes break, both teams are going to cool down, and of course Eclectiq being the team with the hot hand right now, they'd be the team that would be most hurt by that break. Of course the players might not ask for a break because, I mean, it's getting late, and if you are keen to not going to bed too late, you might say let's just, you know, roll with it. But that of course remains to be seen. Couldn't know from the get-go. That is of course going to electrify the hatch and the wall right there. I just love how creative people can get with the electric claw placements. It's just so beautiful to see. In the meantime, we are going to be seeing the attack. Make sure that no roamer is upstairs. That's not the case. Do we have any roamers, period? We are... Nah, Goons doesn't really count as a roamer, so no, we're not going to have any roamers. And by extension, InControl are technically going to have the possibility to do the same thing as we saw at the first round since the role swap, round 7. That is to just fall into the bomb site because no roamer is going to be harassing them. Is that going to be the case? I don't quite think so, but the possibility definitely is there.
I mean, we're going to see the attack pushing pretty much the exact same way. They're going to get control of a bot quicker because they know there's no roamers this time. They're going to win a lot of time on it. Though Buck's gonna get C4, gonna get it down from I believe so.
Yeah.
It should be Kaid. Yeah, Kaid C4 and get it down on Buck. Great pick right there. They're gonna manage to revive though, I believe so.
But just keep an eye on the doorway. That could be 2 kills if he's patient enough. Buck's there. Buck goes down.
He's gonna actually finish his kill right there. Great shot from Kaid, playing aggressive. I mean, they seem to be adapting pretty good. They're playing a little bit more aggressive. It seems to pay off than they used to a first defensive round.
I mean,
around the second.
It's saying it does pay off is quite an understatement. A 3v5 situation is a moderate but still definitely present advantage for the defense. And now the attack has lost all momentum. Like, Badger's like probing, see somebody does not realize that this is someone. Come on, you have a free kill, Badger. Badger, come on. He's gonna be too late. He realizes his mistake. No, he gets the kill. Okay, Koala being put out of their misery. Serve trying to push in on the left. There's someone and walking up the corridor. That is ballsy. I love that. Just don't miss your shot on Smoke. Smoke's not
Rest of my
looking.
bitch to play.
Oh
Right.
no!
Ah, he's gonna miss the kill.
So much
No
potential
replay's
though.
gonna be done.
So-
Oh, and Maverick's gonna get shoot in the back. I mean, it's a 4v1. Eclectiq look really, really good here. Even Sledge gonna get lit up. Yeah, Goon's gonna get the last kill. That's a really good, really good map. I mean, really good performance on Eclectiq side. To be honest, they play really. To be honest, they almost played that flawlessly. If I can be honest, right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did.
if we look overall in defense, they played my bad. InControl Nation played two pretty good rounds, but one round, if we remember, was saved by Goyo, who played really aggressive.
Yep.
So, in other hand, like if we see it in another way, it should even be maybe 7-2.
Yeah.
To be honest, because that
Yeah.
round should have never been won from Control. Go didn't pop off on that round. So I mean, if I can be fully honest, overall, Eclectiq played that map really well, way better than InControl played it.
And you're fully right.
Time to drop the diffuser.
So it's the same thing as ever. I'm just going to wait. Why are these so annoying? R6 tracker. How do you shut that down? Thank you. Both teams is saying that they are ready. So yes, I'll just dissolve and recreate the lobby for the same reasons as before. But what I'm trying to say with that is let's take 2 minutes to analyze the match, the last one, the upcoming one, because that's the amount of time I need to just like build the lobby back up, and then we're gonna be good to go. So I'm gonna let you talk because I'll be working the mouse if that's good with you.
Yep.
Awesome.
So yeah, like I said earlier, we saw these guys lose their first map, and after this map, after Cafe, who was indeed Eclectiq map, we went on InControl Nation map, and we saw InControl lose on their map. So I mean, at that point, I mean, I thought in my head that maybe InControl is gonna win second map, obviously, because they won Cafe, who was Eclectiq map, right? So they got momentum, and they're gonna play their map. But I guess overall, Eclectiq was just better prepared on Clubhouse than were InControl Nation. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised. 7-3, like it's a
That's a big
huge
gap.
lead.
That's
It's a really big gap.
especially compared to the first map, which was 1-7-6, right? 8-6. Sorry, overtime as basically close as it gets.
Absolutely.
So yeah, freezing. You do look tired. If ever you want to leave for the third map, I wouldn't blame you, and I
Yeah, it's kind of
probably would be
lucky.
able to manage. So,
Yeah, I didn't sleep really well this last night, so I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna say thank you to you for letting me cast this game. I wish I would have been able to cast last map, to be honest. So unfortunate a little bit, yeah. And I'm working early tomorrow, so I'm just gonna go try to get some sleep tonight.
I understand that. If I could just kindly ask you to stay with me just until we get the match going, because I'm still like working the
Absolutely.
mouse. So if you could just talk a little bit while I'm doing
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
But yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any prediction for third map? What do you think about who's gonna win the third map?
I couldn't tell. I really couldn't
You
tell.
can tell.
So the idea is the team that starts an attack getting like the short end of the stick? Well, no, because for every single one of the 3 maps that we have tonight, Eclectiq attack first, or attacked, depending, first, and InControl defended first and foremost. What does that mean? This tells us that, well, since both teams won a point, it really isn't a decisive factor. What else is going to be the decisive factor then? I'm still there wondering and searching. I'm not the best analyst, as you can tell. I am definitely more of a play-by-play, which is why I was happy to have you on tonight
Thank you very
with your coach background.
Mm-hmm. And if I can be honest, I believe Electa is going to be winning this game just because of momentum. Like I said earlier, it's such a big role in this game. Momentum is so key. When you get momentum, you're, winning 7-3 on the enemy team map. It's like, I mean, your ego or your momentum's top of the roof. Like it's you're so confident. So maybe I'm wrong, and Electa's gonna be playing super aggressive, but they're super confident and gonna get destroyed. Maybe I don't know, But from my part, I just believe just because of momentum, Eclectiq is going to be winning that last map. If I can be honest.
Makes sense. It's a logic that holds value. As always, I'm just gonna say the human factor is so random that even like professional analysts trying to predict sports have a pretty poor track record. Just like having something at random, such as like give the cat two toys, both toys representing a team, and see which toys it goes first, has a better predictability record than proper human analysts. Because when you try to understand chaos, you just hook onto an idea which just is wrong. So your logic makes sense, but I would still just toss a coin if I was to make a prediction, even though this sounds like really stupid.
Absolutely. It's all about who plays better in that precise game, and I could be proven wrong so easily. And I mean, nothing for sure means that Eclectiq is going to be winning, and Control could like play just really well on Oregon. It is a common map. It is a map that a lot of team plays and are comfortable on. So it wouldn't be a surprise for me to Control Nation win this game because they're starting even in defense, and it is a defensive map. Oregon's really a defensive map. Nah, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they go maybe 4-2 after the first half, or maybe even 5-1. And at that point, if they get those 5 rounds or those 4 rounds, they're gonna be the one having momentum. And at that point, it could be just it could be a lot easier for these guys to win.
That sounds perfect. So as you can see right here, we got 10 players in the lobby. Duke saying they're ready. What about InControl? InControl saying they're ready too. So I'm just gonna say GLHF, and I suppose it's gonna be it for you tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep on my end. So thank you again for letting me cast, and I hope we cast again soon.
Oh, I hope to see you again soon as well, man. All right.
Take care.
You too.
Thank you.
And with that being said, Breezen is going to be leaving us. Wow, this is like a throwback to season like 2, I want to say. Back before I truly tried to get casting teams together, I was always casting solo. Because other leagues, they come in and they ask, well, how can we do a good production? How can we do a good stream? How can we have like a good league? And I just played it by ear and was like improving on things one step at a time. Because I always had like this baggage and those preconceived notions. This was really throttling me. Like the league is like 2 years old, and it's not as good as it should be with 2 years of age. Regardless, Thatcher, how surprising. Flores, how surprising. I didn't really need to analyze those bans. They've been overanalyzed and basically talked about for many generations. Useless stupid accents. I just noticed I hadn't mentioned that Eclectiq had gotten the points there. So there you have it. Kaid with another ban, and Valkyrie. So really the only notable thing is that Mira is not banned, but Cade is going to be. That makes sense, because if you did not ban Cade, the hatches would have been extremely hard to take out. Of course, since Thatcher is banned, and sneaking like a Twitch drone would be hard. They're always going to get shut down, realistically speaking, right? So Thatcher has to go, and since Thatcher goes, that kind of upsets the balance, and thus Cade also has to go. What are we seeing here? An interesting defense. Meeting hall and kitchen is where InControl Nation goes first. And it's kind of like the same thing as they did on map 2 back on Clubhouse, going on the unexpected bomb site with the idea of throwing their opponents off guard. It didn't work back on Clubhouse, if you would remember. And so, can we expect it to work this time around? I do not know. We're going to see. Okay, so since this is like a pretty chill stream at this point, Big Mommy Z in chat. People in school telling me always in the barbershop, Chief Keep. Chief Keys. God damn. It might just be me who's got a problem reading English, but I'm not sure I can make too much of a sense out of that sentence, man. I'm so sorry. So yeah, we got this defense here, tacked with the Maestro. The idea being, you're not gonna have a smoke. This area is like way too open, way too big for smoke to be any real effective. So the lasers of the turrets are gonna be, you know, the next best thing, really. Serve with the castle barricades. I want to see where those are gonna go. The idea is castle barricades are going to be destroyed. It's just a matter of time. They're more of a utility cell in a all-around somewhat similar sense to what a Rooney would be. The major difference, of course, is the castle barricade is actually going to stop bullets. But if you were to have the right kind of utility, mainly talking about sledge here, well, the castle barricade might as well not exist. Whereas the Rooney is always going to eat something up. You know, you're going to lose the drone for good. You're going to lose the nade for good. Whereas a hit of the hammer really is disposable if you're talking about just the one. But this is not where the push is coming from, so the last castle barricade into small dining, sorry, is not really going to have any real impact. That could be dangerous to attack. Of course, the goal was just to destroy the mute jammer, but if somebody was looking out for those feats right there, Tac could have had a nasty surprise waiting for them. Badger should be ready as well. Yeah, of course, it's a matter of like properly picking the angle. And just above, that's great an angle for Dunny. I want to say, yeah, Dunny now can cover this angle as well. But as I was saying before, the true threat is coming to the stage area of the meeting hall. So who exactly is that is pushing in there? Not Duke. Not Koala. It looks like the attack, actually, for the time being, is not exactly looking to push into the site, but rather make sure that any parallel task has been taken care of. I'm referring to any potential roamers that could be a threat, which is why I want to say Goons is in the basement. And just like that, Goons' patience is going to be rewarded with proper trigger disciplined first blood for Eclectiq. Badger holding the angle there. The Evil Eye also keeping an eye out. Get it? Evil Eye, keeping an eye out. Okay, my puns are bad. I know that. Hibana breaching this right there. We are going to be ready to funnel in, but not if Tact has anything to say about that. However, sitting on cameras is going to become a bit more dangerous as everybody else is dying around them. Yeah, Serve also goes down. You are down to the heavy-hitting LMG. If somebody can pull it off, it is going to be Tax, but at last it was not to be. Eclectiq are going to be starting extremely strong with a flawless round nonetheless. No less, rather. God damn it, English is hard. English do be hard. So yeah, Eclectiq are off to a strong start, but it's always the same thing, right? Is it just the one-off thing or the beginning of a momentum-based few rounds one for them? We will not know until this happens. I am not a good analyst, and oh gosh, yeah, I missed like every single one of those kills. So yay for just 2 kills replays. Disappointing. So our second defense, of course, is not going to go there again. InControl, they really only went meeting in order to throw Eclectiq off guard, and they lost kind of badly, so you don't want to go there again. Instead, we're going to go to kids and dorms. Well, dorms, basically. The expected typical go-to pocket strategy, and the composition is going to be exactly in line with what you would expect. The only more or less surprising presence is going to be Dunny with the Oryx. Roaming was not too fruitful last time. Remember how Goons got the free kill on was it Badger that was roaming in the basement? At any rate, if you want to try to roam again, you're gonna have to be extra cautious, because that first taste of Eclectiq's anti-roam strategies or anti-roam performances was pretty convincing. So Dunny might not want to be like a lone roamer in the basement who waits for their opportunity to walk back up the stairs and then wreak havoc on, you know, behind the attacker's enemy lines. Yeah, my sense and structure was still a bit off there. But all things considered, that does not seem to me like this is what Dunny is going to be going for. As right now, I was gonna say just opening up this wall, right? This hole in the wall might be leading to us, might lead to me expecting them to defend the area and the big tower, but I just don't know what Dunny's doing anymore. So I will just accept that I am just out of touch with what the players are doing. That's MX Reaper spotted out. Hey, I'm just saying, there's somebody right there. They're not going to see each other and no kill is going to happen. And once again, you can see if I was to cycle through the attackers' POVs real quick, they are somewhat disjointed. Take Haiku, for example. As the Hibana, the hard breach, and you know, where the hard breach breaches, usually the attack follows. With the diffuser, you can set foot on side, but if you don't have diffuser, it's worth nothing. So the real push is always going to be where Haiku, as the diffuser, is going to go. But there's nobody with them. So what kind of like true center point of the push is that? It's kind of a bit weird. InControl, I suppose, are just making a good job right now, or doing a good job rather, at keeping the attackers split up. If you want to flush out the roamers, well, somebody has to leave the main push behind to do just that. But if the roamers just refuse to die, well, then you're not going to link up with your teammates too soon, now are you? On top of that, like, Goons is working on the big window, Semi is working on big tower. Duke is not too far behind. This goes First Blood. Duke is not too far behind Haiku by virtue of them being trophy room, but that's basically the extent of teamwork that you can see from Eclectiq right now. The defense also is somewhat split up right now. You know, it makes more or less solo. Badger's not too far out, and that natural assault could actually feel the kill, but it does not. Haiku's so low on health, but just not dead, not quite. The attack, however, is funneling in, and the defense is falling. They're dropping like flies. MX coming back as a roamer. Position unknown, but that was not gonna last for too long. Goons gets a kill, and Eclectiq wins round number 2. Yeah, that was like a free kill for Finka there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to announce you that we have more than just 2 replays for this round. Also, general purpose, open-ended question. We've updated the way we run things on the production for tonight. So if ever there was some weird tiny little glitch that made it through our quality control, please do let me know. Like, audio balancing sounds good, right? I can see, of course, through the preview window what the stream looks like, but the audio is something that I cannot exactly see. Hey, that's just what I'm asking about. Regardless, if we were to jump into round number 3, at this point InControl Nation, they're starting to slip up a little bit, right? They have lost on their preferred and secondary preferred bomb site by virtue of it being round number 3. So what is it that they can do? They can try just to keep on going to different bomb sites, which is what we're seeing right now. And the other alternative, should this upcoming round fail, is to figure out what went wrong in their previous defenses, patch things up, and then try, well, and by virtue of it, try again there. Kids, for example, would hold more substance than Meeting, because Meeting was a flawless run, if you would remember.
5 seconds left before insertion.
But looking at this defense here, especially just the amount of utility that is poured on the first floor, namely, you know, the kitchen and Meeting and CCTV, that kind of stuff. A lot of ADS devices, mute jammers, holes in the walls, deployable shields and such. If the attack wants to push from that side, they are going to be facing a hardened roam, if I can phrase it that way. But it doesn't seem like this is what they're going for. If you look at the positioning, Goons does not care about roamers on the first floor. As long as you can enter through the basement itself, hey, no roamer is really going to be annoying them, is it? And it looks like the entire team got the Q, I say, as there's going to be Badger, who could maybe see a couple of feet, but nothing is going to connect. Contact has been made, though, and now Eclectiq are electing to flush out the roamers instead of going directly for bomb site. Of course, Hibana's already starting to open these things up. Badger reacting accordingly. There's Badger, there's Dunny. Tack might not be too far out. No, Tack's actually in the basement area. Duke is going to get the first kill on Badger. Dunny also low on health. It's MX, the other roamer. However, MX, even if they're technically roaming, they're not going to be too useful as far as like Dunny's resistance to the push here is going to be concerned. However, it's just a matter of time before you can rotate back on. And now that could be interesting. I want to say, yeah, if he peeks, no headshot is going to happen, thus no kill. But there you have it. That's going to be a one tap after basically 3 attempts. Can you chain them up? Haiku is not going to fall just yet. Semi still making their attempts. But that's the thing at this point. InControl Nation are likely to win the round because the attack has got no momentum whatsoever. Haiku pushing on their own to the right-hand side. Koala looking through the opening in the wall, sorry, and Semi looking into bomb site on their own. Neither one of the attackers really is getting any momentum moving forward at all. And that's a bit of a problem right now because the timer is slowly but surely, ticking down. So if nothing happens, the defense, of course, is going to win. Smoke still up with 2 smoke canisters in their pockets. And the defense has established strong frost angles at this point. As you can see right there, there's going to be another kill from attack. Koala's got nades. So if ever you can find a spot that is not covered by the ADS devices, on top of that you had a few ADS at the top floor, so not too many not too many defenses against the explosives in the basement floor. 25 seconds, the push is now happening. A nade's gonna be prepped, cooked, and tossed. Serve, however, is sitting right on one of those ADS devices. Unfortunate, that would have been a free kill if not. But now, 13 seconds to go. The defense knows that they have to be passive. Haiku gets a kill, loses the diffuser in doing so. However, Koala go looking for the refrag. Technically kind of got it, I want to say. But, does it matter? No, because you still had the Rude. That's not a Rooney, that is. I am blanking out of my mind right now. That is not a Rooney. That is Malusi. Okay, wow. My brain sometimes is seemingly swimming in jelly. Okay, guys, please don't, troll around too much. Thank you. Right, yeah, but if you look at the replays, the attack had next to the momentum, and it showed through and through. When you know exactly when the attack is going to push, how the attackers are going to push, the defense is going to be standing there, and they're going to be reacting to that exactly like you would expect them to. But this nicely leads us into round number 4. So at this point, we've seen the rotation, and they're going to go back on the first floor. But it is not the first bomb set that we saw, as by round 1, they were in dining and kitchen meeting. This time we're in dining kitchen. So it is significant because we're actually going to see every one of the 4 bomb sites rather than, the favorite 3 rotation back and forth that we would usually see. How well is that going to play out? Yet remains to be seen. This is the first time this season that InControl are being streamed, so their strategies are not exactly known to me personally. The players may have encountered them on some other league. It's no secret, right, that the players are going to be active in more than just the one league. But as far as my commentary, my expectations, and my previous experience is concerned, InControl Nation are basically a blank page. Semi, what's the breaching torch? I saw him pull it out, but I'm not exactly sure what you want to breach here, looking at where they're standing. But from a bird's eye view, the push really is going to be focused around showers and small tower. Badger, Reaper, and Dunny would, by extension, well, Dunny maybe a bit less, would be the first line of defense for that. And MX Reaper with the wall bang directly into the window. That is going to be a nasty first kill. Can you chain them up? No, actually, Goons is going to refrag you. And that is going to be slightly unfortunate because I was in Reaper's POV. He says, can't even see you. Yep, I totally saw that, and I totally agree with you. That kill was a bit BS as far as the game's integrity is concerned because you had no real possibility to shoot back. So, would that warrant maybe an entry into R6 fix? Because you could argue that if you cannot see a guy that sees you, the competitive integrity of the game as a whole is suffering immensely. But, with that being said, Serve is going to take up the exact same positioning as their dead teammate before them. That is, yeah, that is going to be a refrag, and that was a proper kill, not just somebody on site being DBNO'd. So 1v3 situation, Tak has a pretty good gun, but hardly like the single best in the game. However, position yet unknown would be like a saving grace if it was to come to that, right? Because you can trade your advantage of surprise for a kill or 2 before the enemy team reacts to your presence. But it looks like general purpose pre-fires are going to win the day regardless. So Eclectiq are still keeping the victory train up. The one round that was won by InControl Nation seems to have been a bit of a fluke. I mean, we're going to hope for their sake that they're able to pull off more than just the one round. Yeah, the historical data so far, though somewhat limited, would not support that too much. Regardless, looking at these beautiful replays, a few nice kills happen. You know, the wallbang there, with that was just totally unique scene from R6. I have to agree. And then, you know, it's just a matter of the defense. The defense is falling apart. How was, for example, Simi allowed to walk up to there and shoot at, I'm gonna guess, Badger in the bomb site itself? That should not have happened. It really shouldn't have. And, you know, those weaknesses, flaws, openings in the defensive setup is a kind of vulnerabilities or weaknesses that Eclectiq are absolutely going to be utilizing and capitalizing on. But it is what it is. You learn from your mistakes and you move on, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that you really can do. So let's take a look at InControl's defense of the top floor. So kids and, well, bunks, basically. Bunks is another defense which you've seen before. Well, we've been in every single one of the bomb sets of the map, so I guess that's a given. I am making myself laugh. But yeah, that didn't work out too well for them the last time they went here. However, the defense is going to be ever so slightly different, right? For example, we saw Dunny playing with Oryx, and now he's going to be on mute. I want to say MX was on mute before. That frees them up to pick Alibi. How significant are these changes going to be? It remains to be seen. If you look at the attackers' positioning, they are spread out a bit less than what they were the previous time we went there. I mean, the example once again was the fact that we had Haiku attacking into here, where Haiku was very much soloing that push because the other attackers were basically held up, flushing out the extensive roam game that InControl was presenting. It doesn't seem to be the case too much this time. Haiku's going to get a nice kill. That was technically a steal from somebody else, I want to say. It felt like MX Reaper was already DBNO'd before Hibana started shooting. The angle there is being seen, but Koala's not quite going to get the kill, unfortunately. We are, I want to say, going to be looking for mute jammers, Koala. With the Gun 6. Oh, with a frag grenade proper. Yellow pings coming out. But that is not to identify some actual player, right? Regardless, Duke here in a full-blown gunfight, trying to make their way into... never mind that. Serve from underneath, taking a lot of damage. That was Koala? No, that was Semi. That was Semi's last frag grenade. So even though Serve is really low on health, there's no real way for them, for Semi that is, to put Serve out of their misery. So many gamer tags that sound so familiar, or so similar rather. I am getting confused here. I want to say Dunny right now isn't really holding any active angle up until he peeks. Okay, I had not realized that this wall was open. But the true usefulness of Dunny is going to be here in the attic area because Semi is pushing in. Semi, Dunny, Serve. I'm going to confuse myself. That is for damn sure. I do see Mute, though. Dunny walking roughly in the same area as Semi is playing in. So if they wanted to roam in that direction, I suppose you could foresee Dunny threatening Semi's life with a flank. But Mute is not moving decisively into that direction. So I suppose it's one of the possibilities they didn't want to go down or follow. Goons, however, is not going to be on bomb site. Just missing that. Goons last one alive 1v3 situation, looking for a few kills, but is going to miss. And Badger for InControl Nation going to win this. InControl Nation thus winning their second round. Last round before the faithful roll swap. It always is going to be a bit of a factor. Did you know kids with nades? The players starting to ask themselves, how are you pulling this off? I feel like they're getting more and more chatty as the night progresses, and I like to see this because this is a sportsmanlike attitude. Did you know I was there? Yes, I had drones. Kind of like helping each other out. What did we do wrong? How can we improve upon ourselves? Instead of saying, hey, frick you, you killed me, you bastard, I wanted to win. You know, that kind of stuff where players, oh gosh, Stream Deck, are you okay? It just blinked and died, and okay, it's back now. because the replays won't work without the stream deck because it's using macros, specific macros. So I'm glad that it only, I don't know, it's like the USB port starting to wear off. Nah, I don't know. Let's just hope that the hardware doesn't die because hardware is expensive. Last round before the World Cup, InControl Nation trying to pull a victory off the basement floor. Their first point actually was in Laundry. Their first round one was in Laundry. And I mentioned this simply because, well, hey, if you win in Laundry, well, then you're going to have a 3-3 split, which is as good as it's going to get, especially considering the slow start that we saw to this third and last map of the series. The attack, Eclectiq, that is, spawning with predictable positioning. So if you look at this from this angle right here, we're going to be seeing 3 silhouettes, probably pushing into Big Tower, flushing out Badger who's in Big Tower and meeting here, and Dunny before making their way down into the basement. But that is exactly what we saw in round number 1. The defense, InControl Nation, playing for time from the get-go, slowing them down as much as possible. And of course, since the roamers are still very much present, are still very much there, I would have to look it up. Could you say they are, because a present of course like a gift, but can you also say it as in they are going to be there today? To slow the attack down as much as possible. That shotgun at that range, of course, is going to get a kill. Do you want to swing in with the hot hand and get a double? It would have been amazing to see, but no, Haiku is thus going to stay alive, or is going to be denied a kill, depending on which way that gunfight would have hypothetically went. However, Badger still lost a lot of health, so that kind of role is not something you really want to keep on going with. However, Eclectiq, just like before, have next to no momentum. Just like before, Semi pushing in solo into bunker. So there's no way to establish a crossfire, to refrag. Nice nade Goons. But yeah, the team play that is possible between Goons and Semi, Koala being on drones right now cannot do too much, to be honest. It's so severely limited, and therefore Semi is quite lucky that that shot actually connected, because if not, it would have spelled absolute disaster for the attack. And they're not out of the woods yet either, just to be clear. So Koala looking at the Mixed Reaper. Oh yeah, Mixed Reaper, if you peek in the wrong moment, Koala could just murder you. But it looks like, you know, Koala's not being too aggressive either right now. So I suppose nothing's going to connect in either way. But 43 seconds remaining. Bulletproof cameras here or there. Is that... Oh no, it gets caught. It got caught. So the cam is actually going to blow. Smoke being popped. 30 seconds to go. I suppose Semi's going to want to try and plant the diffuser. Oh, that is bad. That is real bad. Semi can no longer plant. 23 seconds. We are forced into a deathmatch situation, except if you want to revive Koala, but you're going to be left with like 12 seconds to pull off a hero play. Diffuser is no longer really feasible. And no kill ends up happening. InControl Nation winning the round with the exact same formula as they did for the third round. And it worked just like before. All right, roll swap is happening. Let's go for the replays first, though. Roll swap is happening, and replays are right now. Roll swap's happening. We've seen what InControl Nation does. They play for time. When it works, it works. When it doesn't work, they're just basically isolated roamers all across the map that are easy to shut down for the attack. It really is just a matter of how are the gunfights going to go. In the case of the basement, they're deploying a lot of utility to make sure that the roamers stay alive, but that's not always the case. You know, when you're the opposite isn't exactly true. When you're holding into the top floor in bunks, well, the roamers moving around into kitchen and in the extreme cases in the basement aren't going to be helped by ADS devices or deployable shields and that kind of stuff.
15 seconds left.
But that is all just reminiscing about the past, because we are now into the roll swap. As I said, Eclectiq defending, electing to go into Laundry. And what are we going to be seeing in Laundry? Well, a top floor setup somewhat reminiscent, by extension, with a similar kind of mentality to what InControl Nation just did. The actual execute is going to be slightly different. For example, we're going to be seeing Duke with the Vigil on the top floor. But that is just, you know, a small difference between the two defenses. The overarching idea very much still is the same, of having the attackers be forced to flush out the roamers and lose a lot of time in doing so. It's always a bit of a dilemma, because if the attack ever wanted to try something along the lines of ignore the roamers, rush through main stairs or basement, or what would you? And if you can get the diffuser planted in just a few seconds, well, then you force the attack, or the defense rather, in a retake situation. But that kind of playstyle is not a guaranteed way of getting the round one. However, if it works, it works. You know, not all nothing situation, really. There's going to be Koala right here. I'm not exactly sure who the silhouettes in the CCTV area is. Looks like it was a semi. They're feeling the pressure right now. If you look at the third-person view, right? Attacks coming in. Was it a team kill? No, that was Koala. Dunny is down. Dunny goes down for real with their own nade, who they were cooking when they were put down. That is unfortunate. Are we going to see another kill? That is not going to be a double for Koala. Semi might be the next guy on the chopping board if they lose their gunfights, but no. The shotgun at that range just is a massive hindrance. And now, what do you have left? Badger and Serve, with not much they could do seemingly. However, pushing into the bomb site, just like that. Once again, if you have too many roamers off site, this is exactly what can happen. Is Semi aware? Semi is not aware! Wow! But Badger went down in the meantime. I unfortunately missed and didn't quite catch that. The rotation will not be expected, I want to say. Hitting hot shots here or there, however, never landing the decisive killing shot. And at this point, Serve has more or less lost momentum. Trying to rotate to save your teammate is going to be dangerous business, but it works! And with 1 minute left on the clock, over 1 minute even, it is going to be huge if they want to get the diffuser planted. Semi taking yet again a bit of damage. That nade could actually kill them. It does not, and ends up rolling into an ADS. Unfortunately, Badger low on health. He's going to have to finish this off with a nade. They could maybe do something. Once again, Semi is low on health. Duke also hit somewhat, but they trade. Eclectiq is going to win their first defensive round. And that advantage that they had, you know, a 1-0, if you want to count the number of players alive at the end of the round, is not as huge as what we saw when InControl Nation were defending. We saw a flawless round on Eclectiq's attack at some point there. So far, Eclectiq starting off pretty good. But that margin of victory was razor thin. And so if the one gunfight went the other way, could have been the end. And so the teams so far seem to be really on equal footing for the second half of this third map, without even mentioning the two first maps that we've had. So for round number 8, if we were to leave the replays behind, we're going to be seeing dorms. So a top floor hold. What does that entail? A few roamers, for one. The top floor does not rely on the roamers as the basement hold does. You are still, I would still expect to see a few guys play offside. For example, goons could be hanging around in the dining room area. Well, the point being, if they're on the first floor, anybody that wants to play vertical, that is anybody with nades or Buck or Zofia or even Reaper, realistically speaking, he's got to be playing with a shotgun as a secondary weapon. Anybody really could be a threat to the guys if they were to play it well from underneath. So having goons be there would make some sense, but actually this is like an extended hold into Armory. Not sure how it's going to play out, but in theory, I like the idea. I had the wrong guy in mind, but it looks like Duke is going to be the guy roaming. And let's see how that translates to the game itself. I just want to also take note, I'm receiving Discord messages, and you never know. Yeah, okay. You never know if it's like one of the players asking a question with regards to the game, but it was not. The guys from InControl are going to realize pretty quickly that somebody is anchoring over here by virtue of that hatch being reinforced. But Goons is not there anymore. Buck, nade, destroyed by ADS. Stepping foot in the barbed wire is going to reveal his position. Plus, there's somebody at the main door. At last, this was a failing on the game sense part, and Goons is going to pay for that with their lives. Semi roaming Duke back on site. I did not expect that, to be honest. Lost track of their movement for just a second, and just like that, they're back exactly where they started. But Semi could walk up those stairs right there. I am not. Yeah, that was a drone, but oh, before they can shut it down, it blows, and nobody is going to be hurt by that. Slightly unfortunate. But MX Reaper is there, and MX Reaper is going to get the kill. That's a problem, right? Position revealed. Well, what are the anti-roamers going to do? They're going to anti-roam. But the roamer was not ready for the anti-roamer. And that sounds kind of redundant. I would like to apologize. However, a 5v3 situation is looking pretty good for InControl Nation right now. Haiku... Oh, that's going to be hard. Cannot move too much because of the fire. Still, steps into the fire. Takes roughly 60 damage, 60 HP worth of damage. I just saw it gets shot out mid-air. Badger goes down though. Oh, losing a bit more health too. I'm not exactly sure where. And that is not going to be a headshot, but that was dang close. Koala with a nice kill there. Dunny boosting their teammates. Serve would probably want to step in and try to get the diffuser planted pretty quickly. Or did they boost simply to get the health boost? I suppose that's the latter, I suppose, is the actual reason as to why. But stepping into the line of fire is going to be costly to Duke. Isn't going to quite cost them their life. But, you know, you still would rather be up to 100 HP still. Regardless, I sense the potential to play vertical from below, but there's not too much time left. No more grenades for Badger, but Surf with Buck has a diffuser, so I guess not. MX Reaper with the shotgun from beneath. The thing is, oh, nice kill there. The attack has a numerical advantage, so mounting the pressure on the defense even further would be a good thing. That's a kill. 8 seconds to go. Last one alive. Serve has to get that kill there. 5 seconds with the shotgun to that range does not matter. The gun itself is going to take the win. InControl Nation getting the round and keeping the dream alive. I want to say, InControl Nation. No, wait. InControl Nation winning around here. The only single and one time that we saw somebody win 2 rounds in a row was Eclectiq at the beginning of the match. And so what I mean by that is, simply put, now that both teams are warmed up proper, nobody can get any kind of momentum going on their side. And this is significant because if things keep on going that way, we are likely to see overtime. But that's still in the future. Let's focus on what we have right here, right now. I like the aggressivity from Haiku. The example of stepping into the fire and taking damage, accepting the damage that you're going to take in exchange for putting Badger down for good, was a nice touch. Was a nice idea. It didn't quite pan out in the end because old Badger got revived and then boosted by Finka, and it's almost as if he never went down in the first place. But with all that being said, for round 9, we're going to go back exactly where we were before. And that, of course, is going to be the top floor with the dormitories. But, of course, everybody just calls them dorms. It's getting late. I feel like I'm making a bit more syntax, English, grammar mistakes. I hope it's not that bad. Rotations, exactly what you'd expect. Reinforcements, exactly what you'd expect. I do want to note that we only have a mute. 2 mute jammers have been placed already, so let me take a wild guess. I'm actually surprised I don't see any mute jammer here. The first one will be to cut off the drones there. And can I spot the second one? Top here? No, I truly couldn't tell you where the second mute jammer is, actually. He's putting one down right now as we speak. Oh, on the wall there. Okay. The idea being, I was going to say the walls are going to be weakly protected. Okay, yes, that one is going to be planted, but the idea is serve with the can opener. Could just go into the big tower and open it up like that. You know, realistically speaking, you know that InControl Nation is just going to send their Maverick, so it doesn't matter if there's a mute jammer or not, because the walls are going to get breached regardless. But that's the thing. If you start assuming what your opponent's going to do, well, then at some point that assumption might just be wrong. For example, TAC assumed nobody would be peeking into that Maverick breach hole, because why would they? Well, to kill you, that's why they would peek. Of course, the drone walks right into the jammer, but that doesn't mean that there's an actual threat. That only means that you cannot see into that. And now the fight between Badger and Simi would be on. Elsewhere on the map, though, there is going to be, for example, the attack MX Reaper, Dunny, and the like. Pushing up main stairs, walking into armory to take master bedroom, hunting, and push into the bomb site from that angle. What can we expect from this side? So the jammer here has been destroyed. Therefore, serve with the tic-tac, with the can opener, sorry. Is going to reach, is going to use both. Oh, to open up a larger hole in the wall. I don't know, two holes. I was kind of expecting those breaches to connect and to make a large rectangle. As the hiccups are coming in, that is not the best performance ever. But this was not meant to be. Serve has Semi pretty encircled now. You know, the cross angle. Semi cannot fall back. On the other side, of course, is Badger. Mounting the pressure. Dunny with a nice grenade. That natural side is going to connect. Could even be a quad, but no. Getting a triple. That means that, you know, Semi on their lonesome got all 3 InControl attackers now dead. They've killed all 3 of these guys. And ace would have theoretically been possible. But hey, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Both teams now down to 2 players, 30-some seconds on the clock. Serve being the bearer of the diffuser. That bulletproof camera is going to see everything, and as such, Duke is going to swing in. But it looks like it's actually going to. Oh well, now it is going to be Eclectiq just getting 2 kills back to back in rapid succession. And yeah, I was kind of expecting the Aruni to get both kills, but it looks like Goyo got the first one. Round 10, Eclectiq ahead by only the 1 point. Somebody has to have 1 more point than their opponents because we've played an odd amount of rounds. But yeah, if their historical data is anything to go by, InControl Nation are going to win the upcoming round, and we're going to be back at an equilibrium kind of situation. I am not the best analyst, so I couldn't. There's so many like undercurrents in the game that are still eluding me, to be totally honest. But what I'm seeing right now is InControl Nation just playing the way they should. Like, there's nothing that would be unexpected. You totally expect, you know, the attackers to breach into the big tower, to open up into the walk-in closet, and to pinch their way into the bomb site that way. Eclectiq, of course, also expecting that. Like, don't tell me they were surprised by these movements. I would not believe you. And still they're falling to their deaths. It's just a matter of like winning your gunfights, because there's no easy, obvious, or simple way to harden your defenses to make it even harder for the attackers to funnel in.
Bomb located by attack.
Like for example, Big Tower. Maverick was going to breach that regardless. And once they breached, the attackers walked in, and InControl Nation happened to win their gunfights. As far as Big Tower is concerned, because of course they lost the overarching round, but that was just like dissecting one aspect of the last defense that we saw. Execution really is the key. InControl had it pretty well locked down, but Eclectiq won their gunfights when it truly mattered. So at some point, you could just argue that both teams are pretty similar, or almost the same as far as like the team itself is concerned. So if you dissect it down to the individual player components, well then it's just a matter of who's going to win their gunfights. I was going to take their POV, but Duke was just faster than I anticipated, and it's going to be a roaming first kill. Reaper kind of knows there's an active threat behind them in their backs. The attack already pushing in. That is going to be Badger. Then it blows, but it doesn't matter. The smoke isn't really going to be choking anybody to their deaths. Semi gets a nice kill on the MX Reaper, and now the attack is basically, I want to say dead, but don't forget about the fact that this is attack. This is an attacker on the bomb site. Just kind of forgot about who was reviving Hookah there. Nice try. Nice try, but better luck next time really is all I can say. And can I just ask R6 analyst, what took you so long before you realized that this is a custom lobby? Weird. Odd. But hey, it is what it is. What am I seeing? Why are things so weird right now? Yeah, OBS is acting up in a way that I didn't expect it to. So hey, too bad, big sad. Let's just jump right into the replays. And I would appear to have been wrong. So Eclectiq wins 2 rounds in a row and brings this into a match point. Surprising and interesting. As remember how No, wait, I'm wrong. Yeah, they have a big momentum, and it looks like freezing is actually going to be right. They were just up ahead in the previous map, and everything would indicate that they are just going to keep on being ahead for the upcoming rounds, or maybe even just round singular, as after all, this is match point.
Jammer ready to activate.
So that's all I gotta say for that. Looking at things right now, this is going to be the first time that we see Eclectiq defending into meeting room.
5 seconds remaining.
And for a meeting defense, they're of course going to be sending people up top. I do like to see the Frost. I have a knack, or I have a personal preference for those kinds of operators that would appear to be kind of odd and not bring too much to the meta. Of course, the Frost traps, a good player is going to know they're there, or going to anticipate they're there, and as such, they're not going to set foot on them, and therefore the Frost mat might as well just not be there. It forces you to look down when you're vaulting through a window, but I don't expect too many players will be vaulting through windows on this current map, on this current bomb site. So you're really playing Duke for the shield, and you know the kit as a whole, rather than just the gun or just the utility, kind of like you do with Finka as well, right? I mean, boosting your players is not that good, all things considered, when you could be bringing, I'm gonna say, like a Ying instead. Just flash the right way and you have a free freaking kill. But right now, so Badger did open up an angle with the blowtorch, but you know how it is, right? The opening, a hole in the wall knows no allegiance, and therefore both teams can just shoot at each other through that. And this time, however, it's going to be the attackers, so Gunny, winning the gunfight through the Maverick hole. Duke being at the top floor, expecting a bit of pressure, but not going there to meet it. The idea being, by falling back, Duke gives control of the top floor to InControl Nation. But then again, Duke stays alive, and this has got to go for something. But do be sure that Serve is going to start destroying that floor through and through. And look at that, with just a bit of droning, those angles could lead to kills pretty rapidly. But that is, don't look at the floor when like you're within line of sight of the hatch itself. Quite unfortunate, but hey, it happens. Haiku also had dropped down. Oh no, that barricade still being there. And of course he couldn't see, but goddamn, if you were to pull the trigger at that moment, and there you have it, double kill for Haiku at that range. Of course, the shotgun takes no prisoners. Served from the top floor. He's gonna try to get to take Haiku out. The Nitrocell is not gonna get too many kills, but it's like the first one of the first times I'm seeing a Nitrocell tossed 2 rooms above. And once again, the sandbox of Rainbow Six Siege is incredibly deep and varied, and you love to see this. Match point situation, don't forget that. 2v3 situation for the advantage of Eclectiq, who really do not need any advantages right now. Once again, referring to the score line at that range. Haiku with the shotgun, yellow, pink, free fires are the only way out, and there you have it. Because if Haiku was allowed to pull the trigger, that would not have ended too well for Serve. Both attacking players are low on health, whereas both Eclectiq players are up to 100 or 100 and like full health, right? Because they're both at 2 armor and 2 speed operator types. The future being planted. Ow, and Koala tried to deny that, but it was not meant to be. And now things are looking pretty doable for InControl. Duke looking at the ceiling. This shows us that Duke is like low on intel, but it does not matter. Gets the first kill, and Zack is going to actually murder them. InControl Nation staying in the round, staying in the game, and you know, clawing their way back to hopefully an overtime situation if you were to be rooting for them. Just keep in mind, Eclectiq are going to do everything in their power to not let such overtime situation actually come to pass. But, you know, first things first, this was just InControl's 5th point. We're not there yet. So what do we see here? The attack winning, was it too surprising? No, I mean, this was meeting and dining and kitchen, sorry, after all. What I mean by that is, simply put, the kitchen area is pretty easy to plant under the defender's noses. We just saw that happen, right? So
Attackers are activating
the good news, if I was to spin it that way, is that Eclectiq, now it's been 2 rounds since they went into dorms. And so you will not be surprised whatsoever, the replays are pretty much over now, that we are going to be defending the top floor again. what would be a bit more surprising would be Semi playing with the Clash. This is, of course, going to be with the shotgun nonetheless as a secondary. This is interesting because you really cannot take any long-range gunfights with the shotgun, especially since you don't really have a primary firearm. My question would then become, how is Semi gonna play? Because, of course, this is going to imply
5 seconds left.
a semi-major update in there, and by extension the team's playstyle. But aside of the Clash itself, I'm not seeing too many things that are like surprising or like unexpected to me. You know, barbed wire reinforcements. Well, I suppose there's no mutes, but then again, does it really matter? Because Badger is just going to breach the wall open regardless. So Eclectiq are kind of making a gamble, because if you were to have mute jammers or like bandits or batteries, you could still deny the breaching charges that Serve undoubtedly has as a secondary right now. Or the hard breaching charges, rather. The breaching charges regular. Hey, there you go. He's got the can openers. Yeah, and Semi staying on site, you would hardly, if ever, expect to see a Clash roaming. But the idea is sometimes you want to stick your face through a window to get like on the side and feed intel to your teammates. Once again, it's quite rare, so it's not happening. But, you know, technically not impossible. Goon's already taking a lot of damage, and that's the thing, right? He's been there in Armory the entire time. Ever since the rule swap. He's been playing there, and at this point it becomes predictable, and that's one of the biggest problems that Eclectiq might be facing. They're set in their ways, and now that the match is, I mean, coming to an end, regardless of if we're going to overtime or not, both teams know how each other's play, but InControl still stays somewhat like unpredictable. They do mix things up a little bit. We didn't see them put this much pressure on the ceiling in the previous rounds, for example. And already, this is going to be a part of the reason as to why they got 2 kills this round. 5v3 is, well, you know, yet another vertical kill for Serve. That shotgun at that range could get a kill. Badger goes down. That's his diffuser lost. However, Duke is going to be receiving a lot of pressure. Semi, they're all there. There's no way you could win that. So, Duke, 1v4. Pete and Roni has got a pretty tiny magazine. And 1v3 now is a bit less intimidating, but very much desperate still. That's another nasty pick. 2v1 out of grenades, and he cannot get just a freebie like that. Duke is extremely low on health, however. So what can you expect? They did not even bother picking up the diffuser. It is, thus, I suppose, going to be a deathmatch situation. Slowly but surely, setting themselves up to surround and suffocate him. Stop shaking, Goon says. Dunny, however, is now probably going to be trembling in their boots. When they were in a 3v1 situation, planting the diffuser could have been feasible. 2v1, still more or less doable. Duke just scaring Dunny out of planting the diffuser does not matter. Low as he was, the simplest bullet grazing them, as we saw right there, is going to be able to stop all of InControl's dreams of pulling out a clutch. Eclectiq's dreams of pulling out a clutch. Sorry, I am messing up here. And so officially, we are seeing overtime. This seems fitting. Wait, Semi saying we defend first. Semi being an Eclectiq. Wait up.
Attackers have
Duke saying
recovered
forget
their
it. Wait up.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Smoke grenade out.
Give me a sec. This is where it's slightly unfortunate that I'm soloing this. No, it's fine. Start. Okay, so yeah, I had you didn't see it because of the replays. Because they're still playing, but like in chats, I suppose I did mess up a tiny little bit. Okay. So, overtime situation in that case. Eclectiq attacking first. InControl Nation thus still being on the defense. Just like at the beginning of every match. But that did kind of force a role swap as far as like overtime is concerned. What are we seeing here? It's interesting because the roll swap can like slow teams down in the sense that InControl were kind of getting really good to expect, anticipate, and counteract Eclectiq's defensive playstyle, right? But now that the roll swap is happening, Eclectiq, how were InControl defending last time they saw them defend was 6 rounds ago. Like, if I was to be a bit aggressive, half an hour ago, and by extension, you can't forget that, you know, the short-term memory doesn't last for that long. So both teams taking like a soft reset, if I can like call it that. Regardless, the defense, the basement defense is the only one where InControl Nation had a flawless track record. And we know the name of the game, right? Say it with me, everybody. The top floor roamers waste as much time as possible, stop every momentum that any momentum that the attack may have, and then they are going to be forced into a last-ditch push, which is then doomed to fail. I would love to see Eclectiq try something new, because whatever they're used to doing, or whatever they would instinctively want to do, does not work. We've seen that at the beginning of the map. So how can you innovate? Push into the bottom side, but push into basement pretty aggressively. That might be interesting. That might work, I suppose. Freezer and watch your flanks, watch your backs. Main stairs with the same thing. The roamer's already like slowly getting back on site. Is that Badger? Yeah, Badger walking down. So you got at most 2 roamers up there. Not quite enough to be actually a true threat to the attacking team, right? So let's just keep looking. Goons pushing up, Duke going down, but they're still like tossing flashes and such to the defenders. Sorry, I'm like messing up my words here. Still in the meeting room, and that is just not going to cut it. Once again, the name of the game from InControl Nation is to play for time as much as possible. Just put a flank watch drone. Duke has a claymore. Yeah, just like have them waste their time up there and have them not help out their team with the actual push, because that's what truly matters. Goons is going to be going ham, and that is going to be the first kill on serve. Taking the smoke off the board this early on is going to pay dividends later on. There's no way that's not the case. MX Reaper also taking a hefty amount of damage. You don't really want to peek into that kind of line of bullets. Again, Haiku planting, and if somebody can deny that, it would presumably be MX Reaper, but that is not meant to be. You know, the roamers not helping out their teams is what I'm talking about when I look at Badger, who's at the top floor doing seemingly nothing. He's going to get back on site pretty quickly, but the attacking team is also losing their players pretty quickly. That is going to be a nice save for Haiku, but then he is destroying the diffuser. Can they shut it down in time? They can! MX Reaper now last one alive in a 1v3 situation. Gets one, looking for 2 more. Where is Semi? Where are Haiku? They do not know that. The grenade, the impact, the Pokeball at the feet right there are going to be poking through. MX Reaper did not see that in time. Eclectiq, for the first time in a while, are going to be in the driver's seat, and they're going to be pulling ahead with the points. Wow, don't you love to see that? Go for the replays, and just Wizard. Hey, thank you, man. Oh yeah, I had like some glitch hide the chat from me, so add with 3 minutes delay on top of that. I'm sorry if I'm really slow to respond to you. Ariel, what are the maps? Oh shoot. Yep, I should totally put that in the overhead bar. So the 3 maps that we had, the first one was Cafe. It was won 8-6 by InControl Nation. So InControl Nation took the first map, but you know, over time, it's gonna hurt teeth more or less. The second map was Clubhouse, and this one was won by a landslide, 7-3 for Eclectiq. On top of that, we didn't exactly take a 5 minutes break in between the maps. So Eclectiq, if they didn't cool off too quickly between the maps, you could say that they came into the third, the tiebreaker map, with a bit of a momentum still going for them. Then things start off pretty well. Eclectiq seemingly in the driver's seat, you know, winning 2 first rounds, and pretty decisively up until InControl Nation gets the defense here in the basement. and then they won the first point, and it eventually was a 3-3 split for the halftime mark. Then, of course, since we're in overtime, InControl Nation, when they were attacking, they just did the same thing, winning 3 rounds, losing 3 rounds, which, I mean, elementary level math here, but this causes a 6-6 split, and then we are in overtime, and this pushes us into the round that we just here saw. Overtime match points. Oh, Eclectiq. No, I was totally wrong. Eclectiq won that round. Wow. Yeah. I'm starting to skip a few beats here. Duke roaming. I love to see this roaming playstyle. It's always fun to see because if he can stay hidden long enough or sneaky, walk around the map, like evade detection, that kind of stuff, the attack can waste so much time trying to join him out. Because you want to send a drone in, right? If you send a player in, well, the gunfight can go both ways, really. But Duke is just gonna shoot down the drone, relocate themselves, and now you have to send another drone in to see where he is, 15 seconds later. The problem is, rinse and repeat. Duke could just shoot down that second drone, move out again, and eat up that much utility. Granted, Koala just died. Goon's gonna get a bit of a kill, so it balances itself out, I suppose. On top of that, this was Maverick, the hard breach. So, the more utility you waste trying to flush out the roamers, be it flash grenades, frags, gadget, operator utility, or drones, the fewer of these things that you're going to have when it comes time to attacking the objective itself. And there's no roamer left. Goons has dropped a hatch. However, TAC doesn't know that. TAC is still looking and searching and using up valuable time. It looks... What silhouette was that? Like running up the stairs. Goons is back up here. Of course, InControl Nation doesn't know that. But it doesn't feel to me like InControl Nation are about to attack into the big tower. So Goons will have like 2 opportunities, or two possibilities offering themselves up to them. Does Castle want to go back down the stairs and help their teammates on bomb site? Or do you want to take basically the freedom of not having any attacker harass you for the moment to basically roam and try to find a way to sneak up behind the attackers and, shooting at somebody from behind is basically a free kill. Okay. Let's take a look at what the attack is going to do now. They are still pretty split up. Attack is there. All split up at first glance, but attacking the hatch, all in all, they're really working, or they're really making a bid for the freezer area. Duke is going to be there. Semi... shooting the shotgun, but seemingly missing. That's going to be a nice kill for Duke. Now, Duke is basically right in the middle of all 3 remaining attackers. That's a kill. That's an immediate reflag, because of course it is. Castle goes down. Haiku last one alive. If Haiku pulls the stuff, this is going to be win 1 for Eclectiq. SMG-11, one of the best guns in the game. TTK-wise, the rate of fire is so great, but recoil, control, and even just like reaction time to be able to pull the trigger in the first place, we're just not there. Okay. This is now what we've all been waiting for. Best of 3. Third map. Overtime 7-7. We are walking the distance. Whoever wins this upcoming round is going to take the entire series in an extremely well-deserved manner. As a reminder, both of these teams, this is week 3. 2 matches have been played yet. This is their 3rd. Both of these teams are 2-0. Neither team has been defeated yet. None of these victories were due to forfeits. We've had a couple here or there, the most unfortunate one being Sunday night. We had a match scheduled. Everybody knew that, and then for the one team, only the IGL coach manager shows up, and the guy says, yeah, my players had been told throughout the entire week that the match would be played on Sunday, and now nobody's here. So if I was to loop this back to this match that we're seeing right here between Eclectiq and InControl, it's not as if they had a free win to justify the 2 points that they have currently at their disposal. What are we going to be seeing here? Extremely interesting. InControl Nation electing as their defenders to go into dining kitchen. This would be considered a tertiary or even 4th bomb site. The kind of stuff that you would not expect a team that just had a role swap to go when they could pick just about any bomb site in the entire map. And the hiccups are just troubling my flow a little bit. I hope it's not that bad. 3 ADS devices right here. Whoever anchors and maybe more than just the one magnet on top of that. whoever anchors in that area is going to be one tough nut to crack. However, the flip side of that is, simply put, if anybody was to receive an aid anywhere else on the map, they would be oh so vulnerable. And Badger, just saying like that, if you were to be rushed right now, and I think the castle barricade might not be the best use of your time, as if you look in the third-person view, like the attackers are preparing their troops, right? Collecting, massing their resources, getting ready to push in. Oh, Semi could just roll a nade to destroy the shield, but no, this was not meant to be done. With a nitro cell, is going to be Duke off the board, the top fragger for their team off from the get-go. This is not off to a good start. Semi, second top frag, still very much kicking. However, you know, the 150 bullet mag LMG is still going to be sorely missed. MX Reaper right here, aiming directly at somebody, but of course there's the hard piece of cover of this kind of shell thingy that is not going to allow Hibana to digest yet. The impact is going to capture a drone, but yeah, a bullet could have done just the same thing. The mute jammer goes down. I suppose Haiku now is going to try to open this up. It actually did reach. The attackers are, so to speak, ready to funnel in. However, doing just so just yet would be quite dangerous, as the defenders behind said reinforced walls are still very much present. Just look at Serve, gets a nice kill on the Haiku, and now Koala walking down the stairs wants to get the refrag. 3v5 for match point. It is starting to be a bit dire. They are feeling the pressure. Semi is in a full-blown gunfight, trying to take out Jaeger. Jaeger goes down. However, diffuser has been lost. Don't forget that. So they're gonna have to recover said diffuser. This is gonna blow immediately, but it's always going to be attracting attention. Badger's position is now a bit more precarious, but right there in front of the shield of Horse, Badger wins that gunfight. Koala just sees the diffuser right in front of them. However, stepping on it to recover it would be a suicide mission from above. That is nifty, but missing your shots is a bit unfortunate. Trigger discipline would have been preferable here, as I do not believe the silver from below had seen them. Nonetheless, trickery put aside, a face-to-face gunfight is still going to win out the day. 2v3 situation, 40 seconds to go. Semi breaching in, and I want to say Dunny. Yeah, Dunny heard that definitely, and so this is going to be a double kill, and thus Semi is no more. Koala is the last one alive. Everything rests on him. With one grenade left, you could maybe get some intel or just a free kill that way, but no, InControl Nation are going to pull ahead. And there you have it. This is going to be InControl Nation's match. InControl Nation's best of 3. What a close fight. GG's to everybody. Wow. It's unfortunate that I was solo for this last match, because for those of you who were there a bit earlier, my now absent co-host was making the prediction that Eclectiq were going to win, because that's such a great momentum coming in from the second map. But apparently momentum is not everything in this game, as unfortunate as that is going to sound. Let me just fix the one teeny tiny little thing. Like that. Thank you, myself. Transform. Yeah, because I am like soloing it right now. And so I'm soloing it right now, so I just gotta make the one seed that makes sense for like only the one person streaming. So GG's to both teams. Let's just tag in the overlay. The InControl Nation won it. And what can I say? I'm gonna say, hey, the Canadians won. Yay! So many American teams, and I, as a Canadian, kind of have to be happy when the Canadians win. As the admin, of course, I have to remain neutral. But there's a tidbit anecdote. So this match has been really taxing on the players. Out of the 3 matches, 2 of them went into overtime. It is now like past 11 p.m., 11:20, even if you are in the EST time zone. And so any like working adult that works from 9 to 5 probably wants to go to bed pretty quickly right now. the students, if there are any students among these teams, this is like finals week. So I can only imagine that a few of the mistakes that we saw were due to sleep-deprived minds. But at the end of the day, there's like a few mistakes that were frankly just due to poor gun skill. I know I am going to be talking about the very, very first round, but remember how was Danny roaming with Vigil on the very first round on Cafe, at the very first map, behind two attackers in their backs. They don't see him. Like the perfect roam. Could get a double kill. Whiffs their shots, attracts attention, gets turned on, gets murdered. It was so disappointing. The single most disappointing thing of the entire match. You could argue, first round, the very first map, the players needed to warm up. To that, I'd say there's some level of possibility behind this statement. However, if you do need a few moments to warm up, well, then maybe you might want to just make sure that you warm up on a what you might call them, a T-hunt beforehand, you know. So. I don't think that we're going to be getting an interview with the guys going tonight. They are getting tired. I am getting tired. People in the flat here are going to sleep, so I will try to be quiet. As soon as the stream is off, so I will not be prolonging it for any more than absolutely necessary. So right now, if anybody was to be curious, the next match that was scheduled, in theory, has been scheduled for Wednesday. I just want to make sure that no other match has been scheduled like since or in the meantime. Somebody just saying, hey, can we play on, say, Tuesday in between the start of the stream? But no, it looks like, yeah, the one match is going to be forfeited. And no, okay, yeah, they're still discussing when they want to play. So guys, so far, next match this Wednesday, specifically between Escape Velocity and Cursed Ascension at 8:30, so it's going to be a bit later on into the night compared to what we usually have. On another note, Genesis Gaming and Shadowrealm have just played their match tonight as well, and it has been won by Shadowrealm, it looks like. Shadowrealm. And yeah, Genesis took the first map, but Shadowrealm took like the two following maps. All right, I will not keep you guys on for any longer than you have to, because of course it is getting late. So guys, have an amazing rest of the night. We will see each other on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Until then, take care and see you soon.